Are you here?
I'm here. Are you here?
Are any of us really here? And what does that... No, I was earlier before I hit stop and started again. I was saying there's been so many holidays this week that we've missed. Of course, the week started off with May the 4th. Well, I guess it actually started last week. We didn't talk about it. It's gonna be May. Oh, it's one of the days.
A classic favorite.
And and then on Monday was May the 4th be with you, the Star Wars one.
Did you celebrate?
Like, what do you mean?
Did you watch Star Wars movie? I make some sort of cupcake with Baby Yoda's face on it. I don't know, man.
No, I didn't do.
I wasn't expecting to be probed on that one.
No, but I observed it in the sense of using it as a way to funnel content into the brains of the foolish morons online. And then, of course, the day after was Cinco de Mayo. It's a huge week. And then this week, today, the pod is coming out on everyone's favorite Australian with indigestion talking to his friends day, which is, of course, May 8th.
Oh,
is what it is today. Is what the day is. So,
I gave him
indigestion because I didn't want him to have a speech impediment because that's not good. I wanted it to be. It could apply to anyone, the broadest possible audience for my joke. So we all get indigestion. Sometimes it kind of makes you have a little verklempt feeling in your chest. So, happy May 8 to you and to all the May 8s out there listening.
This is it. This is rock bottom, I think.
It's not even to introduce the song. It's not even. And in fact, if I had done this 10 minutes from now, I could pivot into talking about another holiday that's this week, but I didn't.
Wait, what's 10 minutes? Wait. Oh, right. I see. Okay. I thought you meant if we had started recording 10 minutes later, and I was like, what holiday starts at 9:55 p.m. Eastern time? All right, that's fine.
So you actually think that it's 9:45 right now? That's what you think?
Fuck, yeah. No, because it's 8:45, and so in 10 minutes it'll go up an hour.
That's what it feels like when you're talking to me on the podcast.
But isn't it National Beverage Day or something? Like, this is truly beverage
There's
day.
always like 3,000 of them at once on any given day. I can't keep track anymore.
I mean, I think you should keep track of the ones that, affect you in such a deeply personal way, though. But that's fine.
Well, that's why I pay attention to May 8. Sorry, I ate dinner really quickly, so it's kind of it's going like that when I try to say it. May 8.
Can we go back
if you don't pivot away from it, I'm going to keep doing it.
Can we go back to the just talking about Blink-182 version of this podcast? Because I feel like as uncomfortable as that exclusive was, I think I prefer it to this 2 hours into the episode feeling that I already have.
For those who haven't been paying attention, I think this week, on... Now, let's see.
200 days ago.
Oh, on the day, I think we might have released it on the day where you celebrate your running shoes, which is, of course, May 6. Is when we released the exclusive, where we only talked about Blink-182 for a full hour. And it was hell, Sam. I know you're joking right now, and I know I'm being pretty annoying right now, but it was hell.
I mean, I'm not joking right now.
I wanted to believe that you were joking.
No,
but
this is not a bit. Listen, I'm never doing a bit. When we did the just Blink-182 talk, exclusive, and I was like, all their pop rock hooks. I meant every word of that, and that's actually my normal speaking voice.
It is
full on over the top host vibe.
We stayed so on topic talking about Blink-182 that friend of the show, friend IRL Nicole, texted me and said, "Who are you subtweeting with this?" It was so aggressively on topic that it seemed like it was sort of had the aggression focused at someone. It seemed hateful how much we stayed on topic on Blink-182. So if you think that we don't talk about Blink-182 enough, go to patreon.com/blink. Patreon.
I like that what happens to you when you have done too much podcasting in a week, which is, to be clear to the people, 100% what's happening to your brain right now.
And every week also is kind of the thing, but this one especially.
It's not special. Is that instead of like when I'm sort of hitting the end of a long week with a lot of creative, output, I really shut down, right? And I start to not find, for example, some of the jokes that might have occurred minutes ago in this episode quite as funny. I'm just ready. I'm ready for bed, like perpetually in that scenario.
No, like what happens to me is, and I think I talked about this somewhere where I've spoke for hours this week. I'm also on our friends Miles and Alex's show, It's a Beautiful Day in the Gulch, which also comes out on Friday. So maybe you listen to that first. Maybe you're listening to this first.
Ooh, is there an order you'd recommend, like a pairing?
Well, that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out. I mentioned that at the end of that. Well, maybe I did. Maybe I didn't mention. Now I'm ruining it. I don't know. Maybe they piece together like some sort of piece of art.
The Josiah podcast universe.
But what I was saying on their show is how I've been feeling this week is like I also haven't really been sleeping. Kind of like a lot of upheaval right now in our house. Just there's a lot going on. We have to set up a home office, so there's furniture being delivered all the time. There's things being misplaced and then found again by a specific
talk about
courier.
That at all,
I don't want to
no?
talk about it, but they're at it again. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
But so I haven't been sleeping. It's been like completely chaotic, and then I just like black out and do like 100 tweets a day, and I don't remember any of them. And then next week I'll go back and read them, and I'm sure I'll probably love them because I'm writing them for myself.
That's something that I admire and do not understand at all about you and people like you.
I was thinking about it like I'm going to be on my deathbed and I'm going to be thinking of really funny things with my last breath.
Just the final synapse
things
fires
that are
in your
funny.
brain.
I mean, things that are only funny to me, but still, I'm just going to be giggling and everyone's going to be like, oh, maybe they'll just put the pillow over me or whatever.
Sure. As you're smiling, they're like, he's thinking about tweets again and just letting you go finally.
Yeah, exactly.
But sincerely,
the bar flattening will be the hospital Wi-Fi will be the bar that makes that beeping flattening sound.
Jesus Christ. How do you manage it though? Because I find like when I'm in a intense period of like a lot of work, it's like I just don't go on Twitter for 2 weeks, and your output is so high from a like creative standpoint. I
love that you keep calling it creative. You really are such a generous lover and co-host.
You know what? That's all I've ever wanted to hear.
I don't know.
But
I don't know what the question is.
You somehow also find time to tweet like 200 times a day.
It's not finding time. That's the thing. It's not finding time. It's like my Twitter is just my subconscious. I'm just like, there's no time. I just like go to it for a second and then write like bung bung or something, and then I leave, and then that's it.
And I like the idea that I see bung bung, and I'm like, damn, Josiah, how does he do it?
You think it's a chess move?
Yeah. You're just playing 3-dimensional Twitter chess. Because then, like, Drew or someone will respond with, like, bung bong, and I'm like, what is happening? This is comedy ascending in front of my very eyes.
So anyways, there's been a lot of holidays this week. There's been May 8 today. Tomorrow will be the day where we think about dogs, but we've changed the C to an M so that it's May 9. And then, of course, after that is
Sunday, May 10th.
Where the day where we think about all of our significant others, and that's why it's called Ma-Others Day.
1, 2, 3, 4. Fucking and sucking and touching, fucking and sucking and touching, fucking and sucking and touching. fucking and sucking and touching, fucking and sucking and touching, fucking and sucking and touching. It's Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day.
Oh, that's good. Did you think of that on the spot? That felt like it was just happening.
I did.
Holy shit!
Are you the first
person to
the
do
machine
that?
is the motor is like sputtering and going crazy because it's about to die.
Right, just
We need some WD-40.
it's true, like, you know, mother with a baby under a car strength, but the baby is your fucking brain and the rest of your life.
And the car is society.
Oh, shit.
Did you see that little fucking wiener, Charlie Brooker, said that he's not going to make any more Black Mirror because, like, society can't handle it right now or something?
Were you grateful in that moment?
Well, yeah, kind of, but I feel like that guy's a fucking wuss. Like, if there's ever been a time to do it.
Just punish people with, like, the relentless kind of sadness that is our contemporary existence?
He used to have this show called Wipe. Did you ever see that show? It was only in Britain. But
yeah, that one's all about going number 2.
Well, so is Black Mirror in a lot of ways.
If it's black, though, I'd be worried about what you're putting in your body. If that's the output.
Wipe was like a end of year show in the UK. I think he started doing the monthly too, but it was like, here's everything that happened in culture and news for over the last year, and like break it down month by month. And it was always like all the fucked up stuff that happened in the news, and then like comedians would talk about it, and Lemmy would go on it sometimes. God bless Lemmy. Then the year that Trump was elected, I was thinking, damn, like the episode of Wipe is going to be so good this year. And then he did the same thing. He's like, oh, I'm focusing my energy on Black Mirror. I'm not going to do Wipe this year. It's like, that guy's fucking, he's always backing down. Like, step up to the plate, bro. This is a direct attack on Charlie Brooker.
Wow.
If you're listening, get it. What are you doing?
No sacred cows on Blink 155 this week. Coming for the unassailable Charlie Brooker and the much beloved and never criticized Black Mirror.
Coming for all the days of May. If you want me to keep going, I'll keep doing it.
Yeah. So the song Mother's Day, it's really good. But the band Blink 182, Josiah, did you own the version of Take Off Your Pants and Jacket with this song on it? I can't remember.
I don't think I owned Take Off Your Pants and Jacket until I bought it on vinyl for like $65 at Luke's Drug Mart, the bougie gentrifier drugstore / vinyls and scented candles stop in Calgary. Like probably 4 years ago. I was like, I mean, this is like
very strange.
As much as I talk about being broke, and I am always broke, like this is my level of privilege, is that I'll be like, damn, it would be really funny if I spent $60 on this Blink-182 record at a drugstore right now. So I did.
Yeah, our version of broke is very specific.
That was probably the month where my electricity was shut off because I had neglected to pay it, but I did get that. So,
but you know, you could warm yourself on the hot riffs of the band Blink 182. So
I think I did have it on. There was like bonus 7 inches with that fancy reissue.
Yeah, so on the giant vinyl, you get all of the hidden tracks.
Yeah, and I was just remembering, my friend Carl and I like. He posted it because it was the anniversary of it recently. It must have been like maybe 5 years ago. I can't remember. But we did an all vinyl pop punk DJ night at Tubby Dog. Because again, I've been trying to make whatever this is happen for a long time. And so Carl and I did that, and we also did like a YouTube night one time. But I do remember like busting out that 7-inch at the all vinyl 90s pop punk DJ night, which was already just like our friends begrudgingly being there even though they didn't want to. They got like extra bummed out when we played this.
I mean, here's the thing. This song is good.
It is good. I agree.
Like it's in my mind, this is what the Violent Femmes sound like, and then every time I listen to the Violent Femmes, I'm like, this fucking sucks. I'd rather listen to Blink 182.
Yeah, this song also like reminds me of another friend of the show, Alex, who I did free punk lyrics with. I feel like this song just has the energy of like staying at your friend's house and you think everyone's gone to bed, and then they just like show up in the doorway like semi-nude and start making up a song on the spot. Like it just has like idiot energy in such a pure way.
I totally agree. Like I haven't thought about this song probably since I was in high school, and definitely this was on the version of Take Off Your Pants that existed in my house, because I remember like my sister and I both like kind of giggling at it and then taking it to camp, and like I talked a lot about listening to this record at camp before, but it has this like very specific adolescent 4 a.m. at the sleepover kind of energy to it that is so like this is to me like the thing that this band like gave a generation of like, you know, particularly like emotionally stunted like people of like our exact kind of demographic, you know?
Yeah.
And I look back on it and I'm like, yeah, you piece together like, not even in the abstract. It's like we've said like Blink and Jackass and these things, but it's like not just Blink. It's like this song, like this specific kind of super dumb, but like totally fucking like kind of earnest almost, offensive in an abstract way. Like, you know, no one is deliberately being attacked. So when you listen back to it, it's not like, it's not hateful in any way. You're just like, damn, that's a, you know, kind of.
It's just like stupid. It's so stupid.
It's just stupid. It's kind of fucking beautiful. And then, you know, you add to that the fact that like Mark is like going for it. It sounds like it's like the Damn It performance. Like he just he's right. Like in this aggressive part of his
everything
range.
about it. Yeah, it feels like you could just picture him like kind of gritting his teeth and like kind of like being so tense while he sings that he's kind of shaking a little bit. He's like fucking and sucking. It almost has like a Jonathan Davis energy.
Yeah, like fucking and sucking the cat.
Yeah. But what you just said about it being kind of like abstract, that was one of the most depressing things, was realizing that what's that one song about wrapping presents, that joke song, realizing that it was the early version was like, I'm mad at my wife because she made me wrap all the presents, so she better suck me off or whatever. Like, yeah, top for sure. You get your top anyway, by any means necessary, Mark. But that was a bummer to see that it was like that kind of song. Whereas this one, because when I first revisited it today, I was thinking like, okay, so is it like an incest song but it's just like stupid. It's just like three stupid words that don't even rhyme really, and then singing It's Mother's Day.
Like it's actually funny. Like this is one of those joke songs that is legitimately funny.
I love the idea
fucking
too
and
of
sucking and what is it? Fucking and sucking and fucking?
Fucking and sucking and touching. It's like in reverse order. Like it starts with fucking and then goes to like making out and then ends with foreplay. It's like even the order is funny.
It's like what, dessert first? Breakfast for dinner? It's the sort of wacky shit that you do when you're a teen. Thank you for sending me the genius link for this.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're asking what it is. You need to.
No song has ever been more deserving. Yeah, of its place on Genius.com. And there's like a note on this. Great.
Yeah, I wish someone would have annotated it though. Like, I mean, what's the history of starting a song with 1, 2, 3, 4? That would be interesting.
Oh yeah. Also, you know, what about? I mean, there are a lot of songs about touching. I feel like there are a lot of songs about fucking, but I think sucking is like underrepresented in
There's a lot of songs
music
that suck.
Yeah. That's true.
Well, I guess this is kind of like again, I don't think everyone knows and has been watching, but like our Twitch streams, look, a lot of people are Twitch streamers now. I get it. Being middle-aged, I think it's safe to say, and becoming Twitch streamers is quite a depressing thought to begin with. But our Twitch streams fucking rock ass, and people are missing out. Like you got to be there. I
also I don't think I even saw it, but subsequent to you accidentally messaging everyone who supports the pod on Patreon with poo-poo, which perhaps is worth an explanation at some point in this episode, or not. I finally saw your, COVID-19, we're monitoring the situation announcement, which went out prior to the first Twitch stream we did, which was March 14th. So I recognize that streaming on Twitch was not invented in March of this year. However, given the deluge of people exactly like us flooding various live stream platforms, I feel very good not only about the quality of our work, but also the fact that we got out there early before everyone had to fully shelter in place to say, hey, let's hang out together and stay inside. And I think we're doing a great job.
So one thing that's emerged on the show, that was reminding me of this, is the piss joke. And we're not going to get into that's for the Twitch streamers.
Yeah, save it.
It's not for here. But what happened was we realized, there's not too many piss jokes out there. And so I was thinking, so now every week you find a joke that is a piss joke. And it's not a pee joke. You write it. I'm sorry. You don't find
joke,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just parallel thought when it seems like it's maybe one that.
Maybe it's from jokesforyou.net or something. Yeah, I get that.
A classic case of parallel thought, which plagues the business of show.
Yeah, mimetic piss jokes just out there in the ether.
But there is a difference between a pee joke and a piss joke, and we're trying to figure out what that is. And so what you're saying is there's not a lot of songs about sucking. Now, I think there are a lot of songs about oral sex, but let's unpack this a little bit. What are you saying when you're saying there's not a lot of songs about sucking?
I mean, I guess that's sort of what I meant. Although, in this instance, you got to assume most of Mark Hoppus's songs come from the perspective of a heterosexual male who is... Now, listen, I don't necessarily know what it is that he's fucking and sucking and touching, but just, context clues sort of lead us to believe that, there's a better than good chance the subject of the song is a cisgender heterosexual woman. That's sort of traditionally been the Blink-182 way. So, the sucking here might, be perhaps a different... I don't know that it's just about, giving top, being topped, topping. I don't know. Is it British? How am I supposed to conjugate that?
Mark Toppus? I don't know.
That's good shit. Are there how many songs are there about oral generally?
I mean, I think there's a lot. I mean, I think basically pretty much every Lil Wayne song is
right.
either about giving or receiving oral sex. There's a Tyler, the Creator song called Bitch Suck Dick from 2013. There's a song by Denise LaSalle from 2000 called Lick It Before You Stick It. Of course, NWA's She Swallowed It. Just when I search songs about sucking, it's mostly rap songs also. But there's got to be
songs about sucking. I mean, obviously, like you mentioned, Wayne, Lollipop, knew that, but I forgot about Suck It or Not, which I think is a really positive message to put out there.
It's a really positive
It's up
message.
to you. I'm not putting any pressure on you. We could just play Mario Kart if you want.
So, and Peaches is on this list, which I forgot. That means that pretty much a significant portion of Canadian arts funding went towards songs about sucking throughout the 2000s.
That's true. God, what a fucking song, eh?
There's also
I'm so glad that we literally pay taxes to be able to hear songs at the club about sucking.
What club are you going to?
I'm going to the Suck Club.
Is that on Bloor Street? I found a Spotify playlist called Songs to Suck Dick To.
Oh, this is good. It's 20% lyric, but what's really important is the tempo for you to get a good rhythm going. It's like a running playlist.
I also
Shape of You. It's damn.
I would be remiss to not bring up the famous tweet that I still don't really understand why it's so famous, but I also love it so much, from September 2017, when the user Chelsea wrote, "Sucking dick while my man plays 2K, greater than. So she's saying sucking dick is great while her man plays the video game 2K, which I believe is NBA game. And then she wrote, LMAO, y'all thought I meant my man's dick? FOHHH, so fuck out of here. So, I think people were just perplexed by this because I think they thought that she was sucking him off while he was playing basketball video game. But then she is actually not.
I definitely remember this tweet. And I feel like I remember this Kotaku article about this tweet.
I mean,
the internet is extremely good.
But yeah, like this is something that I still don't really understand why it's there, but I also just know it. Or like when that like white rapper guy said that it's miracle shit that Nicki Minaj's clothing line is in Kmart. Like that's just like burned in my head.
Right.
Miracle shit.
It's weird to think that like we probably don't know the birthdays of our fathers, but like I definitely know the entire like Kevin Smith like taint brown area owns my dick tweet like in its entirety.
Yeah, exactly. Like you remember that it's even though pwn is normally spelled PWN, in that tweet it's POWN for some reason,
yeah,
and that's one of the most mortifying things about it.
Yeah, that's one of.
So, do you think there is the first verse is fucking and sucking and touching repeated 3 times? I'll read it out.
Okay.
So, fucking and sucking and touching, fucking and sucking and touching, fucking and sucking and touching.
This is like So I Married an Axe Murderer now.
And then there's the chorus. We'll talk about the chorus in a bit. But I just noticed that verse 2.
Well, she changes it up, yeah.
It's not just those 3 verbs. It's also, he opens it by saying all be. So the verses are tied with the chorus. And the chorus is, of course, just it's Mother's Day. So they're not completely separated. He's saying he's using action words to describe what he's doing, and then the chorus describes kind of the time of setting. When it's happening. And then we were, maybe we were thinking that these are 2 random separated things, but then verse 2 reveals that he is doing these things during that setting and time. So they are connected.
Interesting. Yeah, they're not totally disassociated concepts. The fucking and the sucking and the touching, and also the special day for moms
Mother's
around
Day.
the world. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So what do you think? What do you think that means?
Well, I mean, I'm inclined to take on first blush, Mark Toppus at face value. It's a Sunday. It's a bit of a lazy day, and maybe there's time to change it up, right? You might conceivably fuck then suck then touch on a day like that, and then you go to brunch. There's a lot of options. I think it's also worth considering the fact that something that we've certainly discovered throughout doing this podcast is Mark's propensity for metaphor, that he's extremely fond of these kind of abstract images, the ocean, the water that is in the ocean. And so it seems possible to me that perhaps this is also a metaphor, and that what he is describing is the day of conception. And it's not to be taken so literally as to be, okay, the hallmark Mother's Day, but perhaps that ultimately what this represents is the sort of the trials that many couples go through. This sort of some people they get pregnant the first time they try. Some people got to do IVF. There's all kinds of different things that different kinds of couples need to do, and so. This sort of grind that he's describing, right? It's just this endless fucking and sucking.
He's describing the ovulation window.
Yeah,
really.
Exactly, right. And that, but eventually you get the sort of release, especially musically. It's important to note, which I'm sure we'll get to, that the verses are this like almost rapt kind of aggressive delivery, and it's Mother's Day is quite beautiful. The sort of the clouds are breaking over Mark in that moment. The miracle of conception has occurred. Perhaps he is free from a lifetime of fucking and sucking and touching servitude, which is
so. You're saying the Mother's Day reference in the chorus is referring to the wife that has been inseminated.
Well, no, I think the partner, right? I mean but that moment of life beginning anew. And in fact, let's take that a step further. Maybe it's not about that at all. Maybe this is
first of all, I just want to stop you right there and say we have it on record that Sam just said life begins at conception. So that's there. And also, yeah, I think you're right though. It's like it's Mother's Day. He's fucking and sucking and touching, and then he's turning a wife. And I am saying this purely very patriarchal way of looking at it, but he's turning a wife into a mother. And for the sake of this narrative, she has no other identity or purpose. And I'm sorry for that. It's in the song.
Works for
me. But so basically what you're saying is, oh, y'all thought he was fucking and sucking on his Mother's Day, FOHHH, like the tweet about 2K. So it kind of works, actually.
That's interesting. But I want to take it one step further and say, what if the song is actually about the creative process? You know, we talked about this a lot in the sort of incredibly difficult and stilted introduction to this episode. You know, trying to create, being sort of mired in the process of sort of sorting through the library of your own ideas, and especially in this sort of group collaborative kind of creative environment that Blink-182 existed in particular at this time. You know, they're coming off their biggest album, their biggest hits. The expectations have never been higher, and perhaps the fucking and the sucking and the touching is occurring not with a partner, not with a literal sort of potential mother to say Mark's children, but perhaps it is the other members of Blink-182 that are being fucked, sucked, and touched. And then the Mother's Day is the moment of conception where life begins for another collection of
This is a
Blink-182
pro-life
songs.
song. Let's just face it. This is a pro-life song.
Well, I mean, look, you see things through the prism of your own belief, and as a devout pro-life advocate, you know, that's obviously the lens that I apply to all things.
I love the idea of like a really fundamentalist right-wing pro-lifer who uses the rhetoric fucking and sucking and touching to get the message across.
Isn't that like some like nouveau kind of Christianity shit? Like being a cool pastor who's like, I know you guys like fucking and sucking and touching.
Maybe. I was thinking more like Westboro Baptist Church might do it because they seem to put anything they want on
They're
their
edgy
shit.
like that. Yeah, it's true. They love to fucking suck and touch.
Well, the question of what the song is about, if we're not the first ones to raise it, thank goodness.
Was there another podcast, perhaps?
maybe there's a podcast about Mother's Day. But somebody on Reddit here, the website reddit.com, and then you put /r/ and then just whatever you want, and they'll take you to a community of hateful people who have things to say about that subject. So on the Blink-182 one, the Orange Misfit 2 years ago. Now, what kind of 2 years ago, if you had the name the Orange Misfit, what kind of name you think that is? You think he's referring to a little certain?
Oh shit! Well, I'll click through and find out exactly which uniquely shaded misfit this user is potentially referring to, while you describe the thread.
So the Orange Misfit, which may actually be Cheeto Leany himself, writes here, is it supposed to be just a contrast between the sweet harmonies and graphic fuckins and such, or is it just a pointless joke song? And this is under the heading, is there any meaning to Mother's Day? And of course, the narrow-minded folks here overwhelmingly reply things like, I'm going to go out on a ledge and say it's a pointless joke song. I want to think about that more in a second, because I don't think it's possible for I don't think it's possible for a joke song to be pointless. Do you know what I mean? Like if the point of it is to be a joke song, then how could it be pointless if it exists and is stupid?
Holy shit, man! I don't know. That's a deep thought.
I'm full of them today because I'm dying.
Okay.
It means he's having a 3-layer relationship, not just touching and sucking, but touching, sucking, and fucking. And he repeats it over and over again because he wants to emphasize the deepness of the relationship. It's kind of a funny reply. Here's what I originally thought is what username wrote. it basically talks about incest thoughts. Blink has a very Freudian nature.
Yeah, this is a song about psychoanalysis.
When have they ever made Freudian jokes other than that? Justin Gittleman Music replied. That name's come up before. They have more of a bestiality nature, in my opinion, as far as repeated jokes. And then people start kind of debating about whether or not they're Freudian. And the original person is like, I wasn't being serious.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of being like, I want to fuck my dad as being Freudian. Like, I don't think that that's what Freudian means.
Yeah, well, then someone points out it's the Oedipal complex. But is that Freud or is that someone else? Is that Oedipus? Is that,
yeah, that's, of course, the sort of father of psycho family fucking Oedipus.
All I know is somebody almost made an interesting point on here, and then they started fighting about it, and the person said they weren't being serious. So I don't know.
Bro,
I do
are you
think
kidding? Watch some Blink Live shows. Most of their jokes are about incest. It's an incredible thing to spend. Like, I mean, again, pot kettle black, of course. But the idea of spending all your time arguing on Reddit about whether or not Blink makes incest jokes a lot. I
think honestly, a pot being able to have the kind of self-awareness or even just the consciousness required to not only be able to use human language, but also recognize what a kettle even is and understand the color palette, able to call it black. I think there's nothing. I mean, I think that's beautiful for a pot to call a kettle black.
It's true. Yeah. It suggests, intelligence where we perhaps have not looked for it even in the past, which is exciting.
So there's no, you don't see any incest in this song.
I think as a youngster perhaps did originally. I'm not seeing it now. What about you?
I think the I'll be in verse 2 is making me think that maybe it is like you described kind of a brunch scenario. I'm thinking like a post-church scenario, something like that, where he's like, he put like, because when you're a kid, and I'm sure he was like definitely already had some gray hairs when he wrote this, so that also changes it. But I do think that like a young person is definitely not like, maybe actually no one is getting hella excited to spend all of Mother's Day with their mom, just like sitting around like making eye contact and smiling for like 24 hours. It's more of like you punch your ticket and then you even if you love your mom, you put in the work and then you go do literally anything else because you have to go back to school or back to work the next day. So I think maybe he's saying it's Mother's Day and then he's like gonna sneak off somewhere else for some fuck suck touch.
For some FST, the classic move.
I would love to see that become the new fuck, marry, kill. Fuck, suck, touch.
Right, yeah. Or it's like, look, I'm horny for all three of these things, but one of them I just want to touch.
Well, sucking doesn't have to be a horny thing. And neither does touching, actually.
True.
It's just kind of like spatial awareness.
Okay, so fuck, suck, touch, the current lineup. No. The lineup of Blink-182 at the time of Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. Okay.
You asking me?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I can answer in full or in the right order. Fuck Mark, probably.
Oh, okay.
Because he still had kind of some of that smooth era look. I'm going to say suck Travis, because I feel like he probably would taste kind of good. Like, I feel like he was more groomed and might have some, like, vegan body products that taste really good.
He does something like he, like, sprays something, like, into his boxer shorts, which is, like, the sort of move that, like, I've never thought of myself, you know?
Yeah, but it's probably, like, coconut oil.
Yeah.
It's probably so good.
Yeah.
And then touch Tom, I guess just because, like, I just kind of want to cradle his head in my hands. Would be my answer. But now I feel like, I don't know, you got to go.
That's tough. I mean,
I feel like it's too samey. I want you to do fuck, suck, touch with the current Blink lineup.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. I would say, fuck, maybe Matt Skiba. suck. Travis, same thing. Like I bet there's like a coconutty kind of thing happening. And then touch Mark, like just like hold hands and go for a walk.
Like fingers interlocked? Or
Yeah, totally.
Now, why is Mother's Day? Why are some days just like? And I guess the real elephant in the room is Mother's Day, of course. Hallmark holiday, PU, Gen X time. To be mad about that. But why are some holidays like? It's weird how like ones that aren't just like for selling greeting cards also are always on the same day every year, and then other ones are like an actual date. Like, why is Mother's Day always some specific Sunday that no one can remember?
Right, yeah, that feels like actual holiday stuff, like the ones that move.
Yeah.
I think because of brunch. I think because of the brunch industry more than anything
Is Mother's
else.
Day like really a brunch thing?
Yeah, can you imagine Mother's Day on a Wednesday? No thanks. Can't brunch.
I didn't realize it was all about brunch.
Well, listen, like you and I are both fortunate enough to have, our mothers in our lives. What do you? I mean, obviously, distance has been a factor for you for a little while, but even I will not be able to see my mother this Mother's Day.
I also feel like
you didn't go to brunch.
half the time that you can't make it to the pod, I'm like, damn, Sam must be like moving and shaking so much. And you're like, oh yeah, I'm having my daily Zoom call with my parents or whatever. It's like I feel like you definitely, maybe you're the one who would spend all of Mother's Day with your mom
Just
and like
smiling.
have the best time.
Yeah, I like my mom.
I love my mom. I think my mom rules, but like, come on.
You don't want to spend time
play
with
video
her?
games. I want to go do some other shit. Probably something on HBO.
I mean, listen. There's a lot of good
Sunday
stuff
is
on
a very
HBO.
loaded day, and it's a very emotionally loaded day. Like even when if I've ever like not worked regular hours or not had a full-time job or whatever, I'm still always kind of bummed out on Sunday and like not wanting the next week to start. There's just always that feeling. So like that's why Mother's Day kind of sucks.
Wow, just because it falls on Sunday.
Yeah, unfinished business day.
If Mother's Day was on a Tuesday, do you think you'd be more amenable to?
Yeah, I'd be into that. Then we could go for tacos.
Yeah, that's true. All right, well, maybe you can lobby Big Mother or whatever to move it.
That seems like it could be a cool thing. Like instead of Big Brother, we need Big Mother.
Ooh, that's. I feel like there's a great satirical novella waiting in the wings for that concept.
I do think that this song's relatable in that sense too, though, because I know when I was a teen, my like Mother's Day birthday angle was always like being a little smart ass and being like, oh, I love you, Mom, even though thank you for like putting up with my farts or whatever. Like, like being like a little like smart ass, but like in a really embarrassing teen way.
How much did you fart? Were you like a particularly gassy teen?
Big time. I mean, of course. Can't you tell?
Disgusting. Yeah, that's actually, yeah. I'm not surprised.
But no, like, I just, it relates to me in that sense of like trying to be a little bit subversive, but then this crosses the line where most people, I mean, I bet you there are so many people who like their mom thinks it's hilarious and they do this every year.
Where they
so
like
bad.
Listen to it or sing it or whatever you mean?
Yeah, they probably like sing it to their mom every year and their mom like just fucking eats it up.
Yeah, my mom would not love this. This is the sort of episode that like when the pod comes up with my family and they're like, maybe I'll check it out. Or like when my boss is like, oh,
it's always that week.
It's like, like, this is like a week where like, I'm just like not going to post anything. I'm not going to remind anyone that the podcast exists this week.
Sarah's mom was saying, I really should check out an episode. And I was like,
yeah,
I might have to delete the pod, actually. Is there a
just
way to
for a
geo-block
week.
it
Just
from
for a
specific cities?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what our Canadian listenership is like, but I feel like it's dwarfed by other countries at this point. And so, unfortunately, no one in Canada will be able to hear this week's episode.
Just everyone in Brazil will have to hear us talk about Don McKellar.
Yo, the Don McKellar like parody account. Oh my god,
It's very good. It's very good, but I feel like we can't get into it because it's too. There's a degree of niche. Look, it's Mother's Day. Okay, we gotta
keep it.
This is ultimate. We're joking. This episode's for everyone. Send it to everyone in your life as a greeting.
Right? Yeah, please.
Hey,
do.
actually, let's make a little let's have a little section, because a big thing about Mother's Day on Sundays too is that there will always be like flowers at church for the moms. They can each leave with like one daffodil or something really touching like that. So why don't we have a little section of the pod right now? And actually, this is true. There's been, I think, multiple people have had children since the pod started.
Isn't it funny how there's a part of me that's like, in my real life, people have also had children since the pod has started. But for some reason, like people who listen to the pod that I don't know, like, that I don't see on a consistent basis, and I only know through the pod having kids, while like you and I sort of retain all of the trappings of our protracted adolescence, like that's something that somehow really fucks me up. Where I'm like, I feel like people who are more mature than me, like I should not be being lapped by like
someone who listens to Blink-155.
Yeah, it's not right.
I know, it's kind of true. It's funny to think when we're always like, wow, the time really flew by, but it's like, yeah, because everyone else's life has started in the last 3 years, and we've just been sitting here doing this and getting the rewards of the little dings and bells of faves and stuff, and being all excited by that, while everyone else is like bringing lives into this world,
moving on, and doing things that matter.
So, anyways, actually, keep vamping for a second.
Okay. So I don't know. We were really just leading into some point that you were trying to make. So I definitely I don't have any particularly meaningful thoughts ready to go. But that's
okay. Well, I've just
I'm on me from talking before.
I'm on the website. I've just searched. This is, you can't even hear it, which makes it even better. Because I forgot to set up Watch Together because I'm completely falling apart. This is on YouTube. It's called A Mother's Love. Beautiful instrumental tribute to moms. This is uploaded by Piano Brothers. So this music in the background, I think I'm going to start it again now that this is all fucked up. Okay, you in here with me?
I'm in here with you.
Okay, let's do this. So this is uploaded by Piano Brothers. Where would we be? Each and every one of us, where would we be without our mothers? Three days from now, or is it 2 days from now?
I think it's
2 days from now.
2 days.
Let's just remember what our mothers have done for us. And let's remember what they mean to us. And I just want to say, Blink-155 cares. Blink-155 cares about the mothers, about the driving you to hockey practice early in the morning, and driving you home from hockey practice. I feel like it's always just about hockey practice in Canada when they talk about parents.
Early morning hockey practice, late in the day hockey practice. You're a hockey mom.
But moms do other stuff too, and we just want to thank them. The moms of the nation, the future moms of the nation, our own moms, moms. Gotta love them. Sam, anything you want to add for the mother tribute?
You know what? Just want to say, whether you're able to, I can't. No, I don't know. I don't have anything to add. I get too inside my own head because I'm like, I know it's not an easy day for some people, and I don't know how to joke now.
That's true. And for the people for who it's not an easy day, I want you to remember that there are some layers of irony on this right now, and maybe we didn't mean it, or maybe we did.
Who knows?
So how much you want us to mean this right now is how much we mean it just for you, and that's the Blink-155 promise.
That to me feels like it should be the Blink-155 like mantra. How much we mean this really depends.
Yeah, it's as sincere and authentic as you want it to to be.
Damn, that's compelling.
Cool. It's like a choose your own adventure,
but of moms.
Yeah,
and just
I really wanted to say something about fucking and sucking and touching on that, but I was like, the music's too nice. I can't do it.
No, hold on. Let's go.
Oh, you want me?
I want you to talk about fucking and sucking and touching right now.
And if you're a father out there, or or someone else whose partner is a mom. Maybe okay. I've already erased so many people. If you have a mom in your life that you are in some sort of sexual relationship with, and maybe they're the mother of your children, or maybe they're your partner's children from an early. Look, it doesn't matter how you're related. If you're the person who rails a mom, why don't you spend today fucking and sucking and touching? That's what moms need, just like everyone else. They need to be fucked, sucked, and touched. It's Mother's Day. So,
I think that the closest you came there to like really nailing a universal message was if you're someone who rails a mom.
I'm trying to be inclusive here.
No,
really got me thinking about.
I feel like I threw you off, and I feel bad, but I was already thrown off, and so I'm just bringing you into my own hell.
We all get in our heads on Mother's Day. Really, is the thing.
Exactly.
I do really like. I like how we're actually the Sclusy paid off. We are staying quite on topic.
I know.
Week.
What the fuck? To all my fuckers, suckers, and touchers out there, this day's for you. I just wanted to talk over it. I think it's like a really great.
It feels really good. Whenever you turn it off, I feel kind of bummed.
I know. It's like something's ended.
Yeah. Oh.
Do you have anything else you like want to just like get off your chest to this instrumental?
I just want to say, it's so nice to like pause and think while it's in the background too. Like everything feels so weighted.
You realize like that's the thing about like, morning shows or whatever that like just have the like, you can sit there and have not dead air, but like time with your thoughts. So it's like, of course, we're always happy to be joined by our most dedicated listeners, the fuckers and suckers and touchers of the nation. It just feels so good to talk over.
It's a very Mark Maron kind of thing to say it like that. Like, what's up, fuckers and suckers and touchers?
Instead, it makes you feel so. I don't know if it was a simulcast. It must have been. But back in the day on CHFI, which is like the definition of middle of the road kind of adult contemporary radio in Toronto, the most popular radio station in the city for time immemorial.
That's a tough one. I feel like we are definitely getting dumber. I think people have been kind of doing retrospective re-listens of the pod, trying to find like cues to see sort of. Maybe is it possible to like have AI read our IQs based on these hours of us speaking and determine what's happening
when us? We peaked and when the decline truly began in earnest? But there was a show that was broadcast late at night, right? Called Lovers and Other Strangers. And it was like a guy just talking in that tone over those sorts of instrumentals. And they would tell like these kind of just like whatever, like meandering ass stories and then just play like, the Eurythmics. And it was so great. Like, so it would just be like, Stacy has been working at the same office for 20 years. Getting home well after her kids had gone to bed. Making dinner for her partner, ultimately falling asleep wondering, is there more? And then one day she decided it was time to move on. She left her job. Oh no, it's about to fucking end. I'm going to be so naked. No! Well, it's over now.
I feel like that's what like professional podcasts sound like too, or like
every
like
Gimlet
a CBC radio thing.
Oh yeah, every Gimlet podcast is just like, and that was the first time, but it's always like, and that was the first time that I realized I wasn't alone in the world anymore, and that perhaps my VHS collection was a window into another world. But this secret video store that I had discovered in my hometown would never be the same after the fire of 1999.
I feel like it's like...
sorry,
it's
go
like,
ahead.
Sean Randall's been working at the same violin manufacturer in Nova Scotia ever since his father passed it down to him. Like the Canadian ones are, I don't know what's better, like the creepy incel American nerd or the Canadian.
Oh yeah. I mean,
ultimately, it's all about the tunes, and that's kind of what our show is all about as well. And that's why we're all here, is to celebrate the tunes.
Have we talked about the Vinyl Cafe before on?
Yeah, because we couldn't remember if the guy was dead or not,
and
we were really
right?
mean to him, and he was dead. So, again, we are being ironic.
Stacy's been working at the same coffee shop in Thunder Bay since 1973. R.I.P. Stuart McLean, a goddamn generational talent.
Most Canadian name ever, too.
Stuart McLean?
Yeah, you say like Stort.
Start. Yeah.
It's like stork, but with a T at the end.
We got to start running. It feels so fucking good to talk over that.
I know. Damn. But I wanted to talk about the music of Blink-182.
Go ahead.
I can't do it with this on. I literally
I'm
can't. It's too. I get too emotional. I start
Okay.
thinking about all the daffodils in church that they give to moms.
Damn, the host of Lovers and Other Strangers was named Don Jackson, which is a way cooler name than I thought the guy who hosted Lovers and Other Strangers had.
That's like an American version of a Canadian name, and I don't know how to explain what I mean, but that's how it feels.
I get what
to
you're
me.
saying.
But this song, Mother's Day by the band Blink-182. Sam, what do you think of this song? I was kidding.
Yeah, we gotta.
I feel like the chord progression though is like it ties into the feeling of being a teen idiot, like the weird like it almost sounds like when you're a kid and you try to make like bullfighter music with an acoustic guitar. There's like this like stupid riff that he's doing.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
I don't remember what the chord progression is at the chorus, but I did earlier find tabs for how to play it on ukulele if anyone wants that.
So people can hit you up if they need that info.
Yeah, but again, it's like maybe Blink-182 in general is just so stupid and underthought that it's like kind of weird that the chorus does sound like a real Blink-182 chorus.
That's the thing about this song is that it's not just it being like kind of dumb and having this like just like late night sleepover energy. Is the chorus is legitimately good. I feel like everything that I ever did on a 4-track was an attempt to sound like this song, except I had no sense of humor, like a discernible sense of humor. And so it would just be the like, I love you, we're in the 8th grade, we'll be together forever. Like I missed the point entirely. And then it sounded exactly like this.
Oh man, I'm dying. So I was trying to see the chord progression is like one that Blink-182 definitely uses a lot, and it's not the Golden 4 or whatever the fuck that's called that they usually use, but it's another one like it's E minor, C,
The Golden
G,
4
D.
would have made it into the verses, fucking and sucking and touching and Golden 4, but it doesn't sort of fit the rhyme scheme. But that's of course a Blink-182 favorite.
It's but so I'm looking at the chord progression, and what's killing me here
The
on
fucking
this,
on-top exclusive did break us, eh? Like
I think it did. It
the
did.
E minor chord did.
But anyways, look at this link, and you can see that there's a video of a tattooed man on an acoustic guitar showing you how to play the song. Apparently, like, do you see that loading on your
It's just like a little corner video of.
And I want to see it so badly, but every time I click it, it's monetized. I would have to get an annual membership to ultimateguitar.com to learn how to play Mother's Day, which does kind of feel tempting. I kind of would like to max out my credit card for that bit.
Shout out ultimateguitar.com for like just finding ways to monetize truly the stupidest shit in the world.
I'm just trying to figure out like
great
if he's actually playing it in there. Maybe do they have the chord shapes preloaded from another song? Like it doesn't look the way he's strumming, he's not doing it.
You're right. It's just that's smart. Sorry, I also noticed at the bottom that there's a comment section on this website. And so great question here from Leon Schmidt. Is this really appropriate for Mother's Day? I guess it depends.
And then Marissa Goertz is the one who replied and said that. What if we had a podcast where we just like read the phone book and laughed at people's names?
I mean, in many ways, I feel the podcast you were describing is called Blink 155.
Damn, we should get a phone book. That would be easier to contact people named Scott Rayner.
I feel like you would be a menace with a phone book, and so I'm glad that it's not a easily accessible tool for you anymore.
Okay, well, apparently in Spokane, Washington in 1998, the band Blink-182 played Mother's Day live for the very first time. So we're going to listen to that now, my friends.
I always thought it was Spokane.
Bootlegs.tk.
Well, it's not. Bootlegs.tk watermark. Give me that watermark again.
Is this a real... Oh, no, this is.
1998 is pretty early for, like, I feel like to like the joke, you kind of have to know Blink-182 a little bit, but no one knew them back then in Spokane, as you say.
Yeah, well, that's just how it's spelled.
I want to hear it again because I want to hear that sick drop. I'd like to hear a rap song that has Bootlegs.tk dropped on it.
Bootlegs.tk.
Yes. Yo, we should start putting it on the pod. Like just randomly an hour and 52 minutes into the pod. Chesh.
We should.
Does the voice say the dash? Because it's chesh-bootlegs.tk.
I wonder if it still works.
I'm literally doing
definitely no. Okay, thank God it didn't load because it's a virus type of address. I think
all of my high school bands were all .tk's. It was the sickest. Suffix.
We used one called, I think, .cjb.net.
Oh, the other classic, yeah.
I don't remember TK, actually.
Yeah, they were all, recently was doing some nostalgic online excavation, and all those bands, all those sites still exist. And they're
all your favorite bands are doing this back then.
Bootlegs.tk.
It really does, when it's just bass, too, and that, like, amazing pop punk bass tone that I love so much. It really sounds like Korn a lot.
Yeah. I know we've talked about this, but do you like Korn?
Only like as of a few years ago, I got into Korn. I think when I was on tour, like, well, I guess that was like 10 years ago now. But when I was on tour, we were I think we were like touring in a rental car, which is just shows how fake punk I really am, I think. But actually, I have another memory of like one Mother's Day memory I have. I think it was Mother's Day. Maybe it was my mom's birthday, but I think it was Mother's Day. Is in Abbotsford when I was a teen, I had bought a tour van for the Hand that was like this rusty green, like 20-foot long monstrosity that barely worked and leaked oil everywhere. And I bought it without telling my parents when I still lived at home, and I like filled up the whole driveway in it. And when they came up from church, I was like, "Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Sorry, I bought a van." Like that's like just the level of annoying I was. But anyways, on tour in a rental car, I remember hearing Korn with Skrillex on the radio, and then I immediately loved both artists. Like that moment, like it was like in my late 20s, I had one of those moments where it changes your outlook on music forever. It's from hearing Korn and Skrillex collaborate.
I love it. I mean, I get it. They go together like lemon and lime.
They really do, and so do we. Actually,
yeah, they're just three, I guess, classic combinations. Anyway, better late than never.
What's the third?
You and me, lemon and lime, Skrillex and Korn.
Oh yeah. And I would say that we go together like fucking and sucking and touching.
It's true.
The third thing is the
Robin?
listener.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. FST.
Is there a gas leak in my apartment right now?
FST, yourself, me, the nation.
That's gonna have to go on exclusive at some point.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. We'll save this for like people can submit. We'll do like a bracket, you know.
I've started like tapping a pen on my desk like I'm David Letterman. Like when I'm talking, I'm just like Just like throw my cue cards.
Does that mean am I Paul Schaefer in this sort of
I think that
scenario?
kind of works.
Well,
That
yeah,
makes
but
sense.
I'm gonna get some like great keyboard stabs, kind of ready to go in the watch together link. So you go ahead and sort of say what you were gonna say. I'm gonna get my Schaefer setup going here.
I mean, I was just gonna say it's better to be a Schaefer than a Richter, probably.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Well,
That's not true. Richter is like, you know what? You're right. I bet Paul Schaefer got paid more.
plus it's CanCon, right? We gotta keep the CanCon up.
It's true. Yeah. Wait, Stratford? Is that where he's from?
I don't fucking know. I feel like everyone is from. Isn't that like where Avril Lavigne and Justin Bieber are from? Basically,
No, Avril Lavigne is from Napanee.
Yeah, same thing. It's all Toronto.
Okay. Man, you
All
would
of
not believe how
Ontario
hard
is
it is to
Toronto.
just find a cool, like organ sound. Okay.
I've got. Okay. We're still setting up this bit. So what do I need to say?
Okay. Well, you set up the next bit. Is basically.
Okay,
what I'm
I'll
saying.
be like, all right, folks, we've got a. I can't really do it, but
Okay.
that's good.
This is how I earn my percentage of the Patreon. It's just like, hey, they're saying that Blink 182, eh? Hey, hi.
I love that I had the next video loaded, and then
I've
in
erased
order
it.
for you to play the sound effect, you had to hop in here.
I know.
And
You
play
know
that,
what?
and it was worth it, and it was great.
Maybe I've spent. This is like actually an important moment of sort of self-actualization for me in the middle of this all-time great episode of Blink 155, which is that like I think I've spent my whole life not necessarily thinking, probably initially, but like eventually sort of having my ego checked enough but wanting to be David Letterman when in fact I'm Paul Schaefer. And that's something to be proud of. So congrats,
That's beautiful.
Congrats to me on just accepting my lot in life as a billionaire keyboard player.
Well, okay, I got distracted because you were talking too long.
Sorry, did you do some good tweets? I can't wait to see what you've been posting.
I have been
during
faving some,
the
I'm not
pod.
going to lie, but it's because if I don't fave them now, I'm going to forget. Who's Stephen Lynch? Do you know who that is?
No, but no. You know, I'm not going to make a lynching joke, so that's fine. I'll just go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know who it is. It sounds familiar, but maybe I'm thinking of Liam
Lynch, Jane Lynch.
David Lynch, of course. They're all. Jane Lynch is David Lynch's wife, as everyone knows.
Everyone knows.
And I don't know who this guy is. He
Sometimes
looks
you don't
like,
finish a song because your father threatens you with disownment from the family. Like this
think
song
he's
I
a
wrote
comedian,
for my mom
maybe.
last Mother's Day.
This is called Mother's Day by Stephen Lynch.
Thank you,
Musical
dear
comedy,
lady,
always good.
for being my mom. You did all my homework. You took me to prom, and I was the only guy who got lucky that night.
So that, in a way, this
What?
Weird Al follows this guy on Twitter.
Sorry, who does?
Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh,
So there's some
Unexpected
sort of
cosign.
Joker, but that's maybe a more kind of to the point version of the Blink-182 Mother's Day song.
yeah. It sort of strips it of its subtlety. Does Weird Al follow Mark Tapas?
I don't know. That's too complicated to figure out right now, but
I want to know everyone who Weird Al follows.
yeah, actually we could probably do that.
I want
Probably
to
doesn't
follow
follow
or
that
police Weird Al Yankovic.
many. Okay, he follows 616 people.
Trim.
Joe Biden, Taika Waititi. He does follow Bernie Sanders. But let's see how many. Let's see who he follows that we might follow or might follow. Well, he follows Soledad O'Brien, who does follow me. But I don't
Soledad
follow her
O'Brien
back.
follows you and you don't
She
follow her.
She
What
follows
is-
like 400,000 people.
Okay.
He follows Noel Fielding, who does not have a very good internet presence in my humble opinion.
Are you the sort of person that like judges people like that who are otherwise like? Is you're a Noah Fielding fan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he should Just like don't tweet then if you're gonna not be good at
okay,
it.
that's your. Okay, it's just like just don't bother.
I don't know. I mean, this is just really. Really, I feel like you're trying to make this the 7-hour episode.
No, I'm good. We can move on. Thanks.
He follows Sam Sutherland.
Oh, fascinating. Yeah. That's why I wanted you to check. I was like, why don't you check and see if you know anyone he follows? Oh, me?
Who, me? Little old me?
Couldn't be. No, I think it's also just like we were being so on topic. I feel like I just need to find my equilibrium again. And I'm good. I'm there. I'm ready to move on.
Well, I'm just trying to say that I think that I don't know. I think I would prefer the reading of Blink-182's Mother's Day of it not being an incest song. I like it of just being a pent-up idiot expressing himself. It is actually really, truly a very powerful form of self-expression, this song, expressing kind of the feeling of being a pent-up Cro-Magnon brain.
Just
moron.
being an idiot.
It's just like having a flat head or whatever.
Yeah, it resonates for sure.
Because making it an incest thing is like, yeah, it's too obvious almost. There's a little bit of banter from the Stephen Lynch guy after when he's like, what? Let's hear what he says.
Oh, please, like you never fucked your mom before.
Brother. Really hammering it home.
In case, yeah, it's too subtle.
I wonder if
Steven, can I
there's a
hear
guitar
your new
tutorial
album?
for this.
No, mother, you may not.
Well,
Not my
a
favorite
lesser,
Lynch.
a
but-
lesser Lynch,
yeah,
for
there
sure.
are worse Lynches. True.
Okay, well, the next thing I was going to bring up when you sidetracked me with your Schaefer realization, I think it is like self-actualization season because people were really liking some of the things we said on the Sclusy as well.
Really?
I feel myself actually falling asleep right now. The energy's waning.
Okay.
I'm dying.
Let's keep it up, man. What do you need? What do you need from me?
Our friend Lil Red Guitarist 2 here, who we've never spoken to, I don't know if he's even aware of us, but this is the guy who normally does What If this song had a guitar solo, and then he just like noodles the shit out of it. Well, fortunately for us, Lil Red Guitarist, to go along with those tabs that we had earlier, he's uploaded a how to play
this will be
video.
a short Mother's video. It's just for Mother's Day. It's a pretty simple song. It's got two main parts to it. The intro just has 4 chords, and then like a little verse, chorus, whatever you want to call it, has another 4 chords in it. But it starts off like this.
Yeah, the classic.
Oh, I guess it will be nice.
And those chords are just an E.
It's a hard riff.
So mad about having to do this tutorial.
It's pretty simple. It's just the 4 chords all in a row. And
Hell yeah, that's like a good mosh part.
the second
Yeah.
part comes in, it's
The length of this video is very
like, you
good
wanna play
also.
power chords
Oh
there,
shit!
do like some actual, like legitimate chords.
Let's not reveal what it is
So
though.
it'll sound like a little more better on an acoustic guitar. Like for instance, it could sound like this.
You know, I never know what to call those chords that you play normal at that like the normal chords either. Do they have a name? Just like chord? They're just chords?
Yeah, yeah.
It's a
Just
really
some
simple
classic
song.
chords there.
If you want to know what those last chords are, it's just an E.
I was telling you, he heard your cry.
E minor, bro.
I'd say probably closer to an E minor, and then a C,
Oh,
then a G.
It's not
Are you-
closer to an E minor.
it
is an E minor.
Is an E
I
minor?
know my guitar is
I like
a
the
little
idea.
better in tune, but
Now I'm
really
getting
simple
worked up.
song. I doubt anyone would really have any problems with it, so keep watching.
Okay, well, we've seen you know how they say those that can't do teach? You know that phrase?
No, I've never heard that before. What does that mean?
Those who can't something podcast. Well, once we crack that one, we're gonna get some RTs, baby. Those who can't blank
This is you workshopping
podcast.
tweets Yeah.
That's going somewhere.
Okay. Okay. I look forward to like seeing that in a day and being like, damn, you really got there.
The teacher has become the pupil because Little Red Guitars 2 also has a cover that he's uploaded of the song. So we can see his. This is before, I think, maybe. Well, different facial hair situation, at least.
Got rid of the chin strap, the really aggressive sort of neck beard.
It does sound better on an acoustic guitar.
Not going to sing it, though, eh? A little too risque.
Well, it's not a sing. It's not a, Sam. It's not a cover. It's a guitar video. It's not about that. It's about his playing, his chord shapes.
Great shapes. But no guitar solo, eh?
Yeah, that's too bad. Why didn't he? I mean, that's the question we're all wondering.
I want to hear some of that signature LRG shredding.
I'm just searching what if Mother's Day had a guitar solo.
Just in case you get anything.
All of his other videos do have that
Guitar solo element.
If you search what if it had a guitar solo, all of his videos pop up. As well as Matt Pelt. This man named Matt Pelt wrote a Mother's Day song called Better last year. I haven't done any research for this episode at all, by the way.
This is going to be a hard one to find covers for, right?
No, there's actually a lot. I checked, but let's watch this Matt Pelt video first. So happy Mother's Day, Matt Pelt.
Mother's Day is tomorrow. I wrote this song. It's called Better, and I'm going to play it for you after this. It's going to be in a different part of this video. This is going to kind of be a little bit longer intro. I hope you can bear with me just for...
Actually, this is a really sad video, so never mind. I just read the description. Never mind on that one, folks.
For the best. Are you totally thrown off now?
No, I'm not. I'm just, I've got nothing planned here. And I keep clicking things, but I guess maybe we should...
It sounds very active on your side, but like in a very panicked way.
I'm a little
worried about what's going on with Chef Josiah over there. Like, is everything all right in the kitchen? Do you need a hand?
No, it's the COVID thing has fucked me up badly as a chef of content. That's the thing. There's no. What I was panicking about was that it's time to do covers, but there's no Nightcore version of this song.
Oh,
which is really disappointing. But then again, I'm so smart, and I should just in real time do these things and not talk about it. We've realized during the streams that we can speed things up on Watch Together, so we can have our own Nightcore version.
So this is the premiere of the DJ Josie Nightcore version of Mother's Day.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I think you get credit for it too. You were in the room, so you get credit.
I get a co-writer.
It's Mother's Day.
There we go.
It's Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day.
Oh, nice.
I'll be fucking spinning. It's Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day.
Damn.
I mean, the Nightcore version is better now.
As always, it's an improvement.
That was sick.
That was great.
I did feel like I was about to have a panic attack when he was saying those words are so punchy. You know what I mean? They're so I don't know. I don't know what they are. There's something.
I think punchy is an accurate way of describing the words. They punch.
Visceral is what I was thinking of. They're so angular. They're actually not angular. But there are a bunch of covers of this shit for some reason. People love to cover silly songs like this. So let's start with this one.
People love to cover silly songs. Is
JP.
Amongst the most just like normal things I think I've heard you say in the history of this podcast.
It's just like saying sentences with no agenda is what I'm going to do now.
That's what's weird is I'm like, oh, you're just mean what you say, which is new.
Yeah. No, it's always been that way. As much or as little as you want it to be. I don't know. This is an interesting video. This is Walter Gonzalez covering it for JP Canvas. There's like multi-cams on this video. It's really, really creepy.
Wow.
Like, why is it all handheld and there's like 4 different angles?
Yeah. And they're like a varying quality. It's like a real mixed media.
He's really giving it here, though.
I'll leave.
Like, you know, shallow depth of field. Like it's. But then one of them is definitely like, it looks like an old, you know, flip cam or something.
I think this song is just about having intrusive thoughts.
Oh.
You're like trying to celebrate Mother's Day, and in the back of your head, it's just like, fucking.
Oh, that's interesting.
Very jarring video.
I didn't like anything that was happening there, but I am very intrigued by your sort of realization
Yeah.
that it's about intrusive thoughts.
So next we've got, and this is, you'll see don't let the thumbnail fool you. This is a production company based on the username.
Okay.
Jordander Productions.
Ah, some of my favorite productions come from Jordander.
So this was uploaded in 2009. And the Jordander Productions description says, more of Gavin and I playing music, this time just messing around. So you gotta love when there's someone named Gavin involved. That makes me think not of Canadian edgelord Gavin, but of Gavin from the game Red Dead Redemption 2. So shout out to all the gamers out there. This is, this looks like it was shot on... I'm running out of ways to describe. You know how like on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, you can tell they forgot how to describe food like 10 seasons ago, and they're just like, "Damn, this is really crackly." Like I don't know how to describe accurately the level of this production value.
Damn, it really looks like I'm watching something right now.
Yeah, I mean this looks like shit though. It looks like a pinhole camera.
Yeah, I mean,
It looks like the camera obscura. Like it looks like a photography textbook image.
yeah, it just looks like it was shot on a BlackBerry.
Did you hear what I'm going to be doing?
I mean, that's probably true. But it is a production company, Jordander Productions.
Well, let me tell you about what's happening tomorrow.
Little sketch. Oh, I love Gavin.
Fucking and sucking and touching,
Gavin's
fucking and
tickled.
sucking and touching, fucking and sucking and touching,
So now Gavin is
fucking
playing.
and sucking and touching, fucking and
And-
sucking and touching, fucking and sucking and touching.
Oh,
It's Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day.
so the guy singing has a guitar, but he is not playing.
Ooh, that mic is really something. He didn't even say I'll be.
And
Let's see what happens at the
I'll be
end.
doing tomorrow.
Is there a little message?
Oh, right, at this end of a skit.
That was pretty cute, though, to be honest.
But that's the energy the song has. Just pals. Just pals
Yeah, just
having a laugh.
just cute. This one seems like it might be more like that other one. It's very serious. I think I'm gonna break in half
You know, the
tonight.
problem with this stuff is it's like if we were doing a podcast about like Borat, which you could have a conversation about, like that film, and then just spent the last half an hour watching guys saying "my wife." Whoa, what?
Oh, we should do that. Yeah, there's picture in picture so that he can play the lead and sing with himself.
But he pictured it so the second picture just appears like over his head.
Yeah, there's like a tinier version of him on top of his face. It's
Yeah.
really upsetting.
This is like, in terms of lynches, I'm getting another lynch vibe from this one.
Right. Jane.
Yeah, of
Real.
course
Reminding me of celebrities playing games together in a living room. This was uploaded by B Barrera 86 in in 2011.
A classic number.
I hope this is someone's first episode of Blink-155.
I mean, that has to be true of every episode at this point, right?
Yeah.
So someone's just like,
And yet
cool.
our listenership stays at the exact same number.
That's
I
why.
wonder why.
There's no churn. We just haven't added anyone new in 2 years.
It's just our inflated numbers every week are because people are listening and feeling, good God.
Yeah, but thank you for your time no matter what.
Here's one. This does seem like someone made this for their mom, maybe. So this is a Mother's Day Blink-182 cover. And I guess because people who like Blink-182 are old as hell now, it would make sense that you'd have like an adult child if you're a Blink-182 fan. This is by TJ Gibson. This video is the result of a apocryphal story of a poor young boy who, unable to afford a gift for his loving mother, plays his drums on an amazingly well-written song. I mean, what is... What? This is from the Apocrypha? The lost books of the Bible? The Gospel of Thomas? What are you talking about here, TJ? So he's really jamming on the drums to this shit.
Okay, I'll be honest. If I were the mom, I would feel
His ride symbol says vagina on it.
he's a wacky guy.
In marker.
Maybe I wouldn't feel as honored by this, actually.
Well, she must be into the joke.
Or he's just that wacky.
The problem with like, and I know that
drums
you're,
like that over this makes it sound like a Defiance, Ohio song.
it does also sound like Violent Femmes more than usual now.
Yeah. Why can't I get just one fuck?
The problem with like, I know that you especially like to give content as a gift, and I understand the beauty of it and the fun of it, and I think it's really fun too. But then the problem with certain kinds of giving content is like, I'm sure this kid and his mom had a great laugh about it, but then like they probably showed people when they came over for dinner or whatever, like, you got to see what TJ did, and then like someone, I just put myself in the person's shoes of like, they're just innocently going to their wife's boss's house for dinner.
It's the collateral damage that you're worried about.
Yeah, then they have to like sit there and like watch and be like, it's pretty cool.
So wait, hold
so
on.
you got how you soundproofing that room or something like what? I don't know. I just feel like
And I get what you're saying, but I'm also like worried about this statement that I love to give content as a gift.
well, no, because we've talked about it before. Like, and you give content that's like really like you and Ashley are always like, you know, there's something we've never even talked about on the pod because I don't know if it was allowed to be talked about or not. But there was like a Christmas song that was given from one of you to the other, and like you always like, you know, I mean, Cameo as well. You're early Cameo adopters. I think that shit's really fun.
That's fair. Okay, yeah. There's some content that has been exchanged in my life.
I'm thinking more of when
I was like, I've never made a drum cover for my mom, and then
no.
you
When I
described
was in
multiple
grade
instances,
8,
yeah.
when I was in grade 8 and I was learning how to play guitar, there's a video of me saying "Happy Birthday, Opa," and then like launching into a blues riff, and it's like the most embarrassing thing ever created, and it's definitely been shown to a lot of people in my extended family. And I need to destroy that tape next time I'm in Langley.
So I get it, but also how old were you at the time?
I guess how old are you in grade 8? 12, 13?
Yeah. Okay, so
but you have to realize that I'm still the same person from 2 or 3 years after that. So
right, but like imagine you get forwarded an email that's like your cousin, your 12-year-old cousin. They wrote a song for your Opa. You'd be charmed by it.
yeah, I don't know.
Content is charming. I'm all in.
Yeah,
I'm
but
all in on content gifts.
So
now.
you like TJ Gibson's cover for his mom?
I love TJ Gibson's cover for his mom.
I mean, I love TJ Gibson and I love his mom. And so for that reason,
That's how you find common ground.
here's a rock cover of a song from Good Times Gary. Whoa, it sounds like Under Oath.
Yeah.
It sounds like Alexis on Fire, actually.
You know, it's like a Wilhelm scream. This is like the first Alexis album.
Why does it have that lead? Good times, Gary. Whoa. We're the 182nd view on this. Staying on topic. There's honestly so many covers of this song. There's so many fucking covers. We're in hell of our own creation. Whoa.
Sucking, touching, fucking, sucking, touching, fucking, sucking, touching.
Okay, that was quite good.
The phrase small town records comes to mind. No, small man records, I mean to say.
It's like I don't get the reference. That I do understand.
It sounds like small man records, does it not?
It definitely sounds like Small Man Records. Like this is
okay,
the first band on a bill of four where it would be like,
Yeah,
you know,
Layaway
Guy
Plan.
Smiley and
Layaway
Ghosts of
Plan and
Modern
Choke.
Man, yeah, and then Choke and then Menine, and so they would be like the sixth band, like that played 15 minutes after Doors, where you were like, oh,
And your parents just dropped you off.
yeah,
This one, I'm really excited for this one because it's a vocal cover, and the description leads me to think that it's maybe been edited. There's been some drama in the comments because they've said, so this is Phil Moody, who says, I ask for constructive criticism, not for hate comments. Please rate this vid. I would appreciate it. Thanks. So perhaps this is a sincere one. There's a very shallow depth of field shot of, I think, a keyboard, maybe?
well, I guess we're about to find out. Just completely out of shot.
Sucking and touching, fucking and sucking and touching, fucking and sucking and touching. Fucking and sucking and touching, fucking and sucking and touching, fucking and sucking and touching.
Do you think this is a gag?
It's Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day.
I guess it's a shot of their keyboard completely out of frame. They're just singing along to the song.
Fucking and sucking and touching.
Is it a keyboard? It looks like a photocopier also.
It just looks like an old timey, like, you know, monitor and normal kind of keyboard, maybe.
I mean, I wouldn't give any hate comments to that vocal performance. It's
No,
kinda
I hate nothing.
Wow. What about racism?
It's, you know, even that has its place.
Okay, this guy looks real fun. This is the name of this person is, my system's all fucked up. Chio Punk 182. It's the Mother's Day in the UK, so happy Mother's Day. I'll be fucking and sucking and touching. They have censored the word fucking in the description. Thank you for that. This is from 2010, 10 years ago. And this person has written cock on their acoustic guitar.
Badass.
Oh, this is a really good video.
This is like an era of boys. Right
Yeah,
now.
and that the clumsy strumming pattern, I think there's one of those in our supercut from year one. But it's like, and also I think he tried to write the word cock on his guitar, but it looks like it says cuck.
Cuck, yeah.
This is amazing. The way that these kind of boys, when they do difficult chord changes, which is all of them, and they kind of like bite on their tongue a little bit while they do it.
Oh yeah, just like focus.
Oh, so good.
I love them.
This is an important episode. I can feel it.
Yeah, it's got to. After seeing that boy,
This is the pod mass one, I think. I don't know.
I hope so.
I hope not. Also, I hope not badly.
I
don't know what this
is.
is. Maybe this came up when I searched cover. It seems to be something. It's uploaded by Face the Fury, also 10 years ago. This was a very popular song to upload 10 years ago. But the description and the opening says, "I want to fuck a dog in the ass."
Oh.
And that's a Blink-182 quote, not me. And it's in memory of Miles Shitbag. So maybe this is like a memorial video. Is this a sketch? Oh my God, is this a sketch?
Okay, so a guy has come up to a house. He knocked on the door. No one was there. He's let himself in.
He's going downstairs. Maybe this is Miles Shitbag.
He's laid down on the couch.
He's playing some rock band drums, I think. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory.
Probably, yeah, you got that.
Saying hi to a birdie.
Oh, yeah. You like that?
Oh, there's a
Then that's
corgi.
Why is he playing the dog song? He's not going to play Mother's... There's no Mother's Day. What the hell? It's mislabeled.
I don't understand.
Now we got to redo the whole episode.
And then there's just a photo of a guy that says, "This is the real dog fucker."
Well, Sam, I know, you must be happy because there's a new Drake album out this week.
Oh, you know that, you know.
Or are you feeling sad about your woes? Anyways, this person's name is Drake84, and look at this opening shot. Johnny Drake. That actually looks like Drake font.
Yeah, this is very Drake, yeah.
And it says Mother's Day in Comic Sans. This is from March 31st, 2008.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, there's nice intro music. This guy looks way too old, though, to be doing this.
It was like, this is a
like
college bedroom, and then this guy's like our age.
At least he looks like he's like 50. He also has rockabilly mutton chops. That's pretty cool. Shout out to Drake. Okay, we're gonna do a couple more, maybe two more, and then I'm gonna go lay down, try to rest my brain a little bit.
Do you just see like an endless scroll? Like
There's
the way
so
that people
many
like play too much Tetris, get like Tetris brain, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe I should do a couple more. Actually, there's so many.
No, two's fine. I think 2's totally fine.
What if there's more good ones?
I don't think there will be.
No, we got to wait. Sorry, no, it's short. We got to do 4 more, actually. I'm bargaining with myself. This is because this guy has the church drum thing.
Oh, you're right.
Did you
This
see
is
that
great.
opened? It opened like Stomp or something. I need to get their names so we can properly do this because the opening is important. Well, wait, this is like not in a language that I can read. Maybe this is Russian or something. They kind of look like they're in the Much environment though, like what it probably
It's true.
looks
They're
like now.
like a TV studio, street level TV studio.
But maybe it's a restaurant because I think there's a rotating pie thing beside them.
Oh,
Is that what that is?
maybe, yeah.
They're at a place called Keep It Okay, I guess, but I don't know what they're called because it's in Russian or something. But it opens. They're both. Just picture a guy with a really ugly black Garth Brooks ass acoustic guitar, and then another guy with one of those things that you sit on and hand drum on, and they're both looking down, like as if it's like end scene.
Yeah.
And then this happens. There's like a guy just like setting up in the background, setting up the kitchen.
Yeah, it's definitely just like, some sort of diner or bar. One of the guys kind of looks like Elon Musk.
This is only from 2017.
Wow.
This could be a Kyle Mooney video, actually.
Man, I would hate to have missed this.
I feel like everyone who ate at this restaurant that night was like, there's a darkness in this place.
Great.
Very good.
Just another classic.
Okay, third last, we've got we've got 78 Cutlass 406 is the name, and he's done this cover for Speed 3182. So shout out to the user Speed 3182 who requested this from Cutlass. It opens with the incredible pan from the HP laptop to the unkempt grown man bedroom with a box fan on the floor, and then we pan over to our friend whose name I already forget. He lays it down, and now he's about to lay it down musically as well.
Fletcher
Shout out to
from
Fletch.
Pennywise.
Ooh.
A lot of
See, he's
eye
not biting
contact.
his tongue when he does the chords. That's why he's fucking them up.
It's interesting.
Reinterpreting the order.
Yeah,
Of the,
suck, fuck, touch.
he's in like a very wooden basement.
Yeah.
He's got an AC unit in the window.
Yeah.
Not a portable one, like one that you need to get installed.
Looks like a lot of water damage in the ceiling.
He's kind of like delivering it like he's rapping almost.
Yeah.
He's got flow.
Again, it's the eye contact. It's like he wants you to know.
For some reason, I haven't stopped this one yet. I think I want to see if there's a pan at the end. I want him to do a room tour.
You're just like you've sort of hit a particularly troubling Josiah groove. I've realized on this, where you're just like you don't want to miss.
I feel like this episode is the only thing keeping me alive right now.
Good pan.
Wait, was there a pan?
Yeah. Oh, don't
fuck.
don't
I was
do
in the
it.
other tab. There we go. Yeah. Okay. What's the last frame though? I gotta just get it on the last frame.
Okay.
Okay. We've got. It's like that picture that was viral. That was like, can you name anything in this picture? And you can't figure it out. I think he has UGG boots. Maybe.
Wait. Hold on. I don't. It's not. Okay. I think I'm seeing a toque on top.
Is there
like
some sort of
the
camo?
white
There's
shape.
like so much underwear everywhere. And
It's
also,
one of- sometimes
his
I'm
HP
like,
Mac
I
top
don't-
has all the stickers fresh out of the box still on it, but it's like
Yeah.
an old ass laptop.
So people know that shit's fresh. My house is pretty clean. You know, I give myself some grief, but it's okay here.
Yeah, I mean, when you see this, you're like, oh, maybe I'm not doing so bad.
Yeah,
after
exactly.
all.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right, well, that was 78 Cutlass 406 for Speed 3182, aka Fletch. Shout out to Fletch.
Shout
of
out
course.
Fletch.
And then no, I gotta do this one now. This
Holy
is
fucking
this is XX Cop 3XX, and they've written that they were bored during lunch, and I just need to know, what does that mean? What does that create? Oh, it's in a school hallway.
This is illicit. You're playing this where teachers can hear?
And again, this is like 100p image.
Reinterpretation of the chorus.
I can't tell if there's a female voice singing or if it's just a falsetto. I want to see if they get detention at the end of the video. Wouldn't that be so good? No, nothing.
It'd be so good.
That'd be such a wonderful treat. Okay, we're down to the final two. Unless you want me to play some more, which I
I
can.
feel like two's good.
Are you sure?
Your two faves.
Okay, let's do 3. Okay, here's this one.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't know. This one is another one of those sitting on the drum thing.
Is it a cone? A cajon? Cajon?
Oh, yeah. It does fit with it. This is uploaded by Gris, Gris. I think this is a band. Well, maybe it's the only upload, though. Man, when there's drums on this song, it sucks so bad.
I don't know. I like TJ Miller's cover or whatever it was.
For his mom?
Yeah.
You just liked it because it was for his mom.
Yeah. I think I felt the love.
But yeah, these guys are just...
They're doing it so straight-faced that it doesn't even seem deliberate.
Yeah, they seem like they've been programmed to do this.
Yeah, just animatronic Mother's Day bots.
It's also because they're in, like, again, such a basement suite, but, like, I feel like it's like a widower's basement suite. It's not for, like, this age of boy. It's for, like, you know what I mean?
The corner
Like, this is a basement where you listen to Michael Bublé CDs when they first come out.
Yeah, like hot off the presses from the Sunrise Records.
Yeah, exactly. All right, second last one. We got these little kids here. It's worth noting the caption from these little kids. These are like probably like what would you say? These kids are like 9 or something.
I gotta pick my head up to see it. Yeah, they're 7.
This is uploaded by 12345 ABC LXY. And in all caps, this child has written, not really a band I like a whole lot, but a really funny song. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's cool.
This video has 3 thumbs up and 13 thumbs down.
Oh.
And Jordy Shiz said 8 years ago, damn, ugly as fuck. XD, but nice one, guys. So is he calling these children ugly? And why? Also, what? So the main boy is playing like a BC Rich knockoff electric guitar, wearing like a tank top with a lightning bolt on it, and he's seriously so young. And then what I want to say is his little brother is behind him, wearing bright red shorts, and then what looks like a bootleg Metallica Spider-Man shirt.
Yeah, it's so sick. Their whole thing is awesome.
Everything about this is everything to me. Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Very funny.
Fucking and sucking and touching, fucking and sucking and touching.
Whoa, he rules at the guitar though.
Fucking and sucking and touching, fucking and sucking and touching, fucking and sucking and touching.
Okay.
He's got braces.
Metallica kid is just headbanging and grabbing his child's dick.
He's doing like the little child humping thing from Austin Powers or whatever.
And that's the little brother.
The braces kid is like too good at guitar that he has to add to the strumming pattern.
I'll be fucking and sucking and touching, fucking and sucking and touching, fucking and sucking and touching. Fucking and
Oh, fuck.
I mean, obviously, it's kind of a weird thing to be watching, but at the same time, I think it perfectly captures the energy of the song.
It's the first cover that I felt like reminded me of how I said the song was good 2 hours ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, finally, I don't know what this one is. It's only 16 seconds long. It's uploaded by WVFI Radio. Blink-182 Mother's Day cover. The description of the video is just, it just says this underneath. I'm going to paste it to you. It just says, whoa, ho, ho. It's just
Mysterious.
I don't know what's going on tonight, but something's in the air. This was uploaded in 2009. In those 11 years and counting that have passed, it's been viewed 403 times. It's pretty good, actually, considering. And again, it's a radio station, but this looks. What would you say this was shot on?
Oh, maybe a razor?
Yeah, could be. Could
Yeah.
Eyeballing this guy right
Okay,
here.
it's 17 seconds long. Let's hear.
Oh yeah, that's right. You eyeballing me?
What the fuck was that?
you
What does he say to start?
eyeballing
Are
this
you
guy right
what
here?
to me?
Oh yeah.
Are you eyeballing me? Whoa, 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 whoa. I think. Yeah. So there you go.
So, Josiah, what are your final thoughts on the song Mother's Day by the band Blink-182?
I feel a little bit disoriented right now. I don't know if I could be trusted to offer an actual final thought.
I'm worried you're going to
held.
die when we finish recording, too.
I think, I
Like
feel
a shark
little
that
bit,
stops swimming.
I feel a little bit dizzy. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. We love you, and this song rules. What about you?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome to Blink 155. Somebody who has, I feel like, just we've been destined to cross paths. It's finally happening. It like needs to happen, and it finally is. Thank God. Maybe this will save the earth. You going on Blink 155. Welcome to Vera Drew. What's up?
Thank you for having me on. How do you pronounce your name?
How do you pronounce it? You haven't said it yet.
Josiah?
How hard are you hitting that S right now?
Josiah is what I said.
Oh yeah, you're doing. Yeah, a lot of people like to do the soft S, but ultimately I think it's supposed to have a hard S. But honestly, you made it. You made it through the name. That's all I ask, really. Most people just call me Josh, and that's wrong. So.
Okay.
Do that.
Well, yeah, thank you for having me on. I mean, I had heard about your podcast because my friend Dan Longino, another person with a hard to pronounce name. I
also okay. Spoiler alert! I did fuck up your last name because I've edited it together because I didn't want to be off the jump so stupid. But I'm willing 30 seconds into the interview to kind of throw myself under the bus. I fucked it up, but I also did the exact same thing with Dan Longino. I asked him how to pronounce his name, and then I hit record and then pronounced it wrong like 5 seconds later.
Both he and I have been called much worse, I think. So it's fine. But yeah, no, I was aware of your show through him because he's also a very big Blink fan. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad you contacted me because this does feel like it was meant to be.
And I don't want to. I mean, I feel weird making people introduce themselves because then it feels like a job interview. But there's like so many angles to your career that are like so interesting. So I don't want to like sell you short, but you're a director and you're an editor. Like Dan, you worked on Who Is America. I always want to call it This Is America because I just can't talk. I'm just stupid at this point.
That's not stupidity. That is literally every time I talk about Who Is America, I've actually gotten out of the habit of correcting people when they call it This Is America.
So you edited Team America World Police.
I wish. I have a confusing career.
It rules though. And then you also worked on Beef House, which I absolutely love so much.
Thank you. Yeah, I was an executive producer on Beef House. I wrote and edited a little bit of it and was there on set. But yeah, no, I mean, like these days I still edit if it's an exciting project. But I'm trying to move more into directing and writing and producing because that's kind of where my heart lies.
Well, and your new project that you announced this week, I want to save that for the end because I feel like that's explosive. But in between all those things, and I feel like everything that I've described has been like in the last year. You've just like done everything in the last year or something.
I mean, honestly, this didn't really occur to me until a month or two ago, because I was talking to my friend, and I'm a depressive person. This is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I'm trying to remove the stigma of mental illness. I deal with depression, and I was kind of feeling low about a month ago, and basically just feeling like my career was like, like I felt confused and like didn't really know where I was. And my friend pointed out that like for the last 10 years, I've worked on pretty much every single incredible comedy show that has been out, like every cool cutting edge, like Nathan For You, Comedy Bang Bang, various Tim and Eric things, On Cinema, Who Is America. Like I've kind of affectionately referred to myself as the transgender Forrest Gump of alt comedy post production, because I've really been like,
really
and it's
good
fun.
ring to that.
It's really been like, I've been involved in pretty much everything.
I think you're feeling depressed because you haven't done anything shitty. I think
I've definitely done some shitty things. I just won't name those ones. but no, I mean, I like most recently been kind of, I've been a little bit like more selective about what I've worked on. And I've been very fortunate that like in the last year, like exactly like the projects, pretty much everything I've worked on has been so consistently cool.
And now you're on Blink-155, so it's over.
And that's yeah. This is where it all.
You're on the world's worst podcast, and you're probably in hour 3 at this point of the show. So that's just great all around.
I was going to ask you at what point do I come in, because
we put the time code.
I feel like that determines where I land in the Hollywood pecking order. Really, like it doesn't really matter if I worked on a ton of cool stuff.
It's true. If you were truly famous, I would consider not putting in the time code so that your millions of fans were forced to listen to the entire episode. But like everyone else, I'll put your time code in the episode description so that people don't get angry at me.
I deeply appreciate that.
But the main thing that I was like, okay, this Vera needs to come on Blink-155 is like the Hot Topic thing. I don't want to. I feel like I don't fully understand. Like it's a web series, but it's also a real thing, right? Like, do you actually want to become Hot Topic's brand ambassador?
Yeah, I mean, so I host a web series that I'm hosting, producing, and stuff, like doing pretty much everything. Especially now, I'm making it all from the privacy of my bedroom. But I have a show called Hot Topics with Vera Drew, and it's a web series with the express purpose of getting me sponsored by Hot Topic. And I think when I came up with the concept, it definitely was just like a joke, because I had found out. I don't even really remember how. I should qualify all of this with most of my clothes are from Hot Topic, and that's just because I am kind of goth light. I also just think I have a very interesting body type because I'm a 30-year-old trans woman, so I have broad shoulders, and Hot Topic just fits me best. And they have a lot of cute clothes. Look at me, I'm becoming a saleswoman right now.
So
but yeah,
I want to pause you right there. Like, so is Hot Topic like secretly a very inclusive brand in terms of, or maybe not secretly? I don't really know, but I do see people complaining about other brands in the mall maybe not being as inclusive for different body types. Is Hot Topic like actually woke as fuck?
I don't know if they're woke, because so that was the thing. Like when I started, because that was the initial draw, was like I like finding out that a lot of other trans women shop there, and that like it does I think fit my body type very well. Like I don't know that that's ever been a part of their business model, and also in retrospect, because like I mean the premise of the series is basically I'm trying to get sponsored by Hot Topic. And one of the reasons I think it would be a good idea for me to be sponsored by Hot Topic is it would just make them look good, because I'd be literally one of the first transgender influencers to get like a brand sponsorship deal. Cause like, I mean, there's definitely some out there, but definitely none that are like alt comedy people. So, but I thought that was going to be kind of a sticking, I thought that was going to really seal the deal for me was being, somebody that they could kind of just use my identity to appear woke, but they still haven't taken bite and sponsored me yet.
I mean, they did since I first contacted you, and between then and now, I think they followed you on Twitter, right?
Yeah. That's, I mean, the big news from Hot Topics world is they have followed me on Twitter. They still don't respond to any of my tweets, which, I mean, I don't know. I think really what it's kind of embarrassing because a lot of people, when I started doing this, I think because of the nature of the kind of stuff I work on, a lot of people thought that I was just trying to take the piss out of a brand and like be funny. But like, I mean, that's definitely part of it. But like, I genuinely wanted to. I genuinely thought I would have been sponsored by Hot Topic by now, and I don't know what that says about my ego.
I fully get it. I totally get it. Like, I think that I should be on the board of Tom DeLonge's space exploration company at this point because I talk about him every waking moment of my life. But I do think you're a very interesting person to talk to about this because of your age and your experience with alternative comedy and like irony and stuff. And that's a very interesting thing is like, what do you do with something like Hot Topic or Blink-182 that's like inherently funny and an easy punchline, but also like secretly pretty sick?
I mean, that's the challenge with this. And really, I mean, not to get like super grandiose about the stuff I'm making, but it's kind of the focus of everything I'm working on right now is to I'm really fucking sick of irony. I'm really fucking sick of nihilism. I feel like all of that is a large contributor to pretty much every single problem we have right now in society. And I don't like that alt comedy and crass comedy, quote unquote, like off color comedy and stuff. I don't like the role that has played in this like move of not this just collective move toward nihilism and irony that we've reached as a society. And that's not to say that I think comedy's to blame, but my goal with this show and pretty much everything I'm doing is to kind of use the tools that I've learned from like ironic, detached, in your face nihilistic comedy that is there to burn down every institution and, turn everything on its head. I'm trying to consciously move that to a sincere place.
Right.
Because I mean, like you hit the nail on the head. Like Hot Topic is a very easy punchline. And I think, Blink-182 is too. I think the era of media that I consumed when I was a teenager is the easiest punchline you could have right now. But I have such genuine affection for all of those things. I have such genuine affection for, even like I was talking about it with a friend the other day. It's like, I feel like one of the most adult things I can do right now is really just admit to myself and everybody that like Linkin Park was important to me when I was a kid, right. And it's like, I'm not going to like completely, take the piss out of that and like burn it all down. Cause like it definitely influenced me.
Yeah.
As an art, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm being all over the place.
This is kind of exactly like, honestly, this is the exact conversation I want to have. But it's like, I also feel like from my own experience, what I have kind of maybe cringed at is when people overcorrect and then they just kind of like everything. And I still appreciate the similar kind of irony tool set that I have in my brain, like you're saying, as a way of like in a way, I find that making fun of Blink-182 for the last 3 years has made me love them more. But I still am constantly making fun of them because there's like really embarrassing things that they say and do. But it's like made me. It's a way of like engaging with it as art or something. It's like a form of criticism. And I feel like sometimes people just turn that switch off completely, and they're like, everything's too cynical now. I just want to enjoy good tunes or whatever, or the mall or whatever. For me, I find that can sometimes go in the opposite direction.
Yeah, I don't think pure nostalgia for nostalgia's sake is just as destructive and reductive as hating on everything and being completely nihilistic and shitty. I think you need to find that middle ground, and that's kind of, I think that's what you're doing with this, and that's definitely what I'm trying to do with Hot Topics. It's really, I mean, with my series, it's like, the initial response I got from some of my friends, I'm a good leftist, and a lot of my friends, when they found out that I was doing this show that was like very specifically about me getting corporate sponsorship, they were like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like you're a hashtag hot girl for Bernie," and it's like, I think at its core, really what that the show is about for me is sort of reclaiming. It's about reclaiming my lost high school goth girl phase and my lost emo girl phase from high school, and kind of living that out as a 30-year-old. It's not just making fun of sponsorship and all that stuff. I mean, all that satire is there, and
right.
criticism of capitalism and stuff, but really at its core there's some hardcore sincerity, and I think that's what's cool about stuff like Blink-182, or like looking at things that like we hold as like sacred nostalgic things, like those don't need to just be things that we're either looking at purely from a nostalgia standpoint or purely from, like wasn't that a super shitty, band standpoint. It can be these archetypes of real important human things like youth and gender and sexuality and all that stuff, because they are so important to our identities. I don't know if that makes sense or sounds too grandiose.
No, definitely. I love it. This is the exact thing I always want the podcast to be, but usually it's just a lot of loud braying into the microphone. So this is better.
I'll give you plenty of that.
So one thing I love to do for some reason, maybe it's just pure self-sabotage, but whenever we get people from the alt comedy world, I love to make them talk about the absolute stupidest and least funny Blink-182 songs. And so once again, it was just kind of the timing shook out too. I was like, well, it is Mother's Day this weekend, and I love making comedians talk about like the absolute stupidest things. So I don't know. Do you have any history with this song?
I do. I mean, well, that was I started to ask you this off mic, but I don't remember what album this was on, because one thing I should really qualify as far as like my experience with Blink. I'm a huge Blink-182 fan, and was when I was a kid and all that stuff. But I think most of my consumption of them was via like LimeWire downloads. So I remember listening to this song and probably thinking it was the funniest thing ever made. But I don't remember what was this on an actual album, or was it like a B-side? Or
so from what I can ascertain, and again, we've stopped sharing reliable Blink-182 facts about 2 years ago. We mostly just talk up our own asses every week. But from what I can remember, this is a bonus track from Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. And what they did was their label was like, can you give us an update on the album? How's it going? And like the big follow up to Enema of the State. And then they just like recorded a few like stupid troll songs to show the label to freak them out or whatever. And then they ended up sharing them later on.
That makes a lot of sense, because I just remember having this. I had this song on on a burnt CD that, again, it was probably like a LimeWire or like Kazaa. Like everything was downloaded illegally off of LimeWire or Kazaa or WinMX. And I just remember this song was on it. Uncle Fucker from South Park, Bigger, Longer, Uncut. The Jackass theme, the Halloween theme, and one other Blink-182. Oh, I Want to Fuck a Dog in the Ass, which I think was also a B-side from Take Off Your Pants and Jacket.
Yeah, that's incredible playlist. My God.
Yeah, and I have like memories of, because I was a very sheltered kid, which I think also just explains a lot about like everything about me. But I was, my parents tried so hard to protect me from things like Blink-182.
Right.
They did such a bad job. I just remember like being like crouched behind like I grew up in rural Illinois. Like crouched behind my grandfather's barn, listening to it in headphones, like headphones that I was sharing with my cousin Cody, and we were desperately hoping that our parents wouldn't discover that we were listening to the dirty music.
I mean,
that's my experience with this.
This song is kind of like, I think, what the '90s parents imagined every Blink-182 song was like.
Well, I think that's what's funny, and I think you actually may have talked about this very specifically with Dan or John Levenstein. I can't remember, but and you probably cover this on all of your shows, but like there's something about this song that, I mean, it's like you said, like maybe it was like them sending something into the label to kind of freak them out. But there also is something about this that feels very much like a bunch of 35-year-old dudes who like this is what they think a teenage boy wants to hear. like it's so and I mean, I don't know. I mean that's my take on it, is that like it is almost like so it is so specifically probably what parents thought like kids were listening to in the 90s, but the reason that it is because like it was it's manufactured irreverence.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Wow. But it's also like it's kind of scary that they could literally just fart into a microphone and we would be talking about it, but we wouldn't even be the only ones talking about it now. Like they're kind of just untouchable. Everything they do, people obsess over it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of, I think, because when you said you wanted to do this song, I mean, I assumed that I was just glad you did this and not, because I have not listened to any of new Blink-182, right. And that's not like, I don't care. Like, honestly, it has nothing to do with like, Tom not being in it.
Yeah.
Although I am very much a Tom girl. Like Tom is my Blink-182. I very much associate with Tom.
I mean, I could have guessed that a mile away as well from your whole. I mean, everything. It's just, yeah, you have the Tom energy. You have you're a Tom spirit. Absolutely.
Yeah, no. I mean, and I imagine I imagine that's maybe a generational thing. But the little bit of new Blink-182 that I have heard, they had a song kind of like this on, I think, the first album they did with the new guy. And it was just like the song's punchline was basically just like, I want to see some naked dudes. And I was just like, okay, right. So you guys are still doing this, but you're doing it without the guy who's leading the UFO disclosure movement. So I have no interest anymore.
Yeah. The only reason I wanted to do that was because I knew that you were a big Blink-182 fan, and I'm a complete Punisher. And I was trying to just trying to ruin Blink-182 for you a little bit. But I'm glad that we did this one as well. I mean, I'm not joking that there's definitely been at least 2 hours of discussion leading up to this, but I feel like for me it's like a way of saying goodbye to each song. It's just like overanalyzing it until you never need to think about it again. But I don't know. Is there anything else about it that like stands out to you?
I mean, I think what is really honestly, like it's weird getting grandiose about Blink-182 because I associate it with, I mean, like I said, it's like this song very specifically was on a CD with Uncle Fucker. So like but like I really think this style of humor really has, like, I can't help but think it influenced me. Like, and I really love how, you know, all of their jokes, like particularly in their live album, like that live album they did, the Enema of the State Part 2 or whatever it's called, is
Mark
still
Tom and Travis show.
Yeah. That was still, honestly, it's still one of my favorite like live albums of all time, even though it's like they're really shitty on it. Like it kind of like shows how shitty Blink-182 actually is when they're performing live. But I think in that and really like anytime they're kind of engaging in humor, I think what like I really like about it now, like looking back retrospectively, is like they made like a lot of like gay jokes and like queer panic jokes, but it was never like, I don't know, like they weren't calling each other like faggots or whatever, or like being super dismissive about, it was always weird. Like Mark and Tom would talk about fucking each other's dads in almost an empowering way. And I think that's like what always drew me to it, and why I can like still listen to that stuff now. Whereas like I probably can't watch, you know, I just watched a Kevin Smith movie for another podcast, which is another kind of big figure from my childhood. I can really revisit Blink-182 and go like, oh, this didn't keep, at the very least, it didn't keep me in the closet, and really kind of did teach me how to be vulgar in a way that isn't putting down queer people. Again, I hope that's not like super grandiose, but that's just always, I think that's why songs like this still make me laugh.
Right. You're not the first person to say that for whatever reason they're like goofing around in that particular area helped them have some sort of, maybe didn't contribute, but it guided them along the way of their own kind of personal awakening about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it ties into, like, I've talked about this on Hot Topics a little bit, but like, you know, I think particularly with like emo was always like a real cool, like, safe space to explore gender expression. I don't think like people really ever intellectualized it to that degree, but like, you know, like emo boys, you know, when I was growing up would wear girl pants and you know, like an eyeliner, and like would just have like the queerest haircuts on the planet. And I think punk and pop punk, because of how like alternative and not mainstream, even like something like Blink-182, which is like about as mainstream, you know, quote unquote punk as you can get.
Yeah.
There's something about it that has always felt very much like a safe space for queerness, whether or not it's fully aware of it.
Right. That's interesting. Yeah, because I mean, even just the fact that such a wide, diverse group of people have embraced our podcast as two like 35-year-old cis white straight guys. Like, I don't know, I was not expecting that, and I love it, and I'm very thankful for it. But I was like, when we started this, I was like, oh, we're gonna, like, people are gonna fucking hate this. This is the last thing the world needs. But maybe we've accidentally tapped into some of that as well, because I'm just like so touched by the diversity of people who listen to this.
I think, I mean, this was, again, I think something Dan brought up, like, and this was my experience with Blink growing up, because I was definitely not a cool kid at all. Like, I was sweaty. I didn't know how to wash my hair until like I was like fucking 16. I was a disaster, like, and about as dorky and like stuck in the closet as you could get. And like, but at the same time, like, Blink-182 was something that, like, you know, me and my friends could get into, and the cool kids would be into. And I think punk and pop punk, there's just something about it, because it really taps into the collective, I don't know, feeling of like not of the collective feeling I think that we're all kind of feeling right now, which is like this overwhelming sense of detachment and not really belonging, and feeling like, you want to be an individual and express yourself, but not really having an outlet for that. Because I think both nerds and jocks go through that. Not to reduce it to just those two things.
Well, that is the ultimate dichotomy of humanity, I think.
Yeah, but I think that's got to be why. Because I see it on my show too. Like I really thought I always just assumed my shtick is mostly gonna land for trans people, but like we all, like, the people who watch my show and are consuming the stuff I'm making, it's like most of them probably are around my age or at least interested in the same stuff as I am, and that crosses a lot of different demographics. So I'm glad you tapped into something because honestly, I think that's what's really cool about Blink-182. Maybe not this song specifically, but I think it's like an example of mainstream monoculture that I do think is. I think there's a lot of value to it for that reason. That the fact that it is able to reach a lot of people.
I'm sorry there's so many interesting threads I want to jump on. I don't want to keep you all night, but I do want to kind of ask. So you said you grew up not being cool. I definitely, when I was a teenager, was like way too fucking cool for Blink-182. So maybe that's not really something that you can relate to. But being someone who's kind of worked in like alternative underground comedy for the last decade, you must understand like kind of the idea of like gatekeeping or whatever. Does that I don't know, like how do you feel about that in terms of talking about monoculture versus like the alternative underground kind of stuff? How do you feel about that at this point in time?
It's if you'd asked me this question maybe even 5 years ago, I think I'd have a different answer. But now, I don't know, like everything is so niche now that like it doesn't even really feel like there is as much of a monoculture anymore. Like, and really like, it used to be a lot simpler, like I think we were really kind of locked into this like Gen X model of like what is mainstream and what is alternative. And I think we were locked in that model most of my life. And that's why I probably like, and it's probably why I'm still saying things like jocks and nerds, when it's like, I think what's really kind of cool about the way we consume media and pop culture now is that everything is so niche, and we are in these like these tiny bubbles that are still super massive, I think I've never been a fan of gatekeeping, and I've never really been a fan of shaming people for liking things, which is something that I've definitely come into contact with working in cool comedy spaces. Like I when I moved out here to start my career in comedy television, because I started. Pretty much the first job I had was at Tim and Eric. Like I got hired as an intern, kind of as like one of the last wave of like interns, like groups of interns that were coming in, because the company was still pretty small at that point. And that was definitely during a time where I think kind of the circles I was rolling in, there were definitely plenty of things that I liked that I did not ever want anybody to find out. Right. And I would say Blink-182 was one of them, Marilyn Manson, Rob Zombie, like basically most of my music choices. And I don't know, like I think there's nothing more obnoxious than shaming somebody for liking something. And the sort of, I don't know. Is that what you mean by gatekeeping as much?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, definitely. And it's something that I'm trying to figure out for myself too, because I agree with you, but I also just, maybe it is the Gen X still inside me, but I feel like if there aren't snobs in the world, then there won't be as good of things still.
I think so. Let me qualify all that with, I've said qualify like 6 times.
It's good.
I don't usually say that. But I do think we should hold art to a high standard. And I think we should hold monoculture to a high standard. Like I consume I consume mainstream shit. Probably most of the stuff I consume is mainstream. You know, like I've been rewatching this last week. I've watched every single Friday the 13th movie, and you know, that's like the biggest horror movie series of all time. But it's like I could still appreciate it on this fundamental level of like, and I can hold it to the artistic standard that I would hold a Jodorowsky film to. You know, like right. I guess like my, you know, idealized world is like that mainstream art and mainstream music and film will be held to a higher standard. I mean, I guess that's why like I have no problem talking shit about like SNL and UCB on my social media. Cause yeah. It's just like, whatever, man. Like it's A, they're never going to hire me. B, you know, it's, we should be holding mainstream art to a high standard.
Well, this is a good segue for the closing thing I want to talk to you about, which is kind of a swirling mess of sincerity and maybe irony and monoculture and something entirely new, which is, tell us about your Joker project that you just announced. You haven't even become a Hot Topic brand ambassador yet, and you're already pivoting to an even larger idea. What is going on?
No, I mean, so about 3 months ago, comedian Brie LaRose, she was a writer on Arrested Development, Magic for Humans. She dared me to recut Todd Phillips' Joker. Basically, after she dared me to do it, I was like, I could either make my like alt comedy ironic mess of like a re-edit of Todd Phillips' Joker, or I could like actually use it to explore literally all of the things that we've been talking about. I mean, it's the perfect space to take a major piece of monoculture that people are still talking about. Like, people talk about the Joker and superheroes way too much in modern society, and tie it into themes of gender and mental illness and, you know, and like I said in the beginning, it's kind of the perfect opportunity for me to kind of be using the things that I've learned as, you know, so as an alt comedy editor, as a found footage editor, as somebody who's directed, you know, unscripted things. It seems like the perfect it's almost like it's kind of my thesis statement on where I'm at right now. So the goal with it is basically I'm recutting Todd Phillips' Joker into my life story, and I'm telling my story of my transition and how I overcame mental illness and what it's like to be a trans woman working in comedy in 2020.
That's amazing. That sounds so cool. I mean, yeah, so it's like you're kind of taking the tools that would normally maybe be used to tear something down to instead like construct something new out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I should add, I'm definitely tearing a lot down with this. I'm making a point of, because I like that's the other piece here is like I feel like it's kind of why I'm like really consciously trying to make a move towards sincerity. I feel like we're just fucked. Like the human race is just fucked right now, and it's really sad, and it breaks my heart, and I can't really, again, not to get grandiose, but it's just like if I'm not like really trying to say something with the stuff I'm making, I think it's a waste of my time at this point, and it's not really doing much good. So I am making a very conscious effort to criticize things about modern comedy and how nihilistic I think modern comedy's gotten, and also just how trans representation's gotten. One of the big I think one of the big sticking points I'm trying to really hammer home with this film is that this will be the first time a trans woman has ever played the Joker, which is just the dumbest statement anybody could ever make. But like, I also feel like that's definitely something that you would see in like a marketing campaign.
Yeah, put it in the press release. Absolutely.
So yeah, and there's just so much. it's hard. It's still hard. I think I'm having a difficult time talking about this because like I'm still in the process of creating it, and that's why.
It's early, and it's like sounds like it is like kind of a culmination of something very important. But like just to kind of zoom out or in a little bit, there's some sort of way that other people can get involved with the project too. Is that right?
I mean, that's the other side of this is, you know, I have a script that I've written that utilizes footage from Todd Phillips' Joker and like hundreds of movies featuring clowns. But I really, you know, because I'm making an entirely new film out of this. It's something that I'm definitely having to do the majority of the work on, but I'm calling this the People's Joker, because it's something that I want to involve as many people, as many other quarantined artists on it as I can, because I don't know about you, but like, I don't know, like all I've been really able to do in quarantine has been make stuff. Like I need to just keep making things. And that's still very isolating. And one thing that I really has always been very helpful for me has been collaboration and working with other people who inspire me. And one of the coolest things that I've gotten out of making Hot Topics is really seeing just this incredible talent from trans people and gender nonconforming people and queer people. And it's that's really what this is ultimately about for me. Is I really want to use this as an opportunity to collaborate with a lot of people. So I'm basically opening up the creative process to any artists, filmmakers, actors, editors, musicians, anybody who wants to contribute to my vision for this can visit thepeoplesjoker.com, and you'll find a video there explaining exactly what I'm doing. And you'll be able to reach out to me and tell me what you think you can bring to the project. Oh, one other thing I should add that I can't believe I've even forgotten, but this is a very important aspect of this is I'm trying to incorporate Jared Leto's portrayal of the Joker as much as possible.
I saw something about that on your Twitter.
Because he is probably my favorite. Like unironically, I'm a big Suicide Squad fan, and I don't have his permission to use his likeness. But Jared, if you're listening, please, I would love for you to get involved. And this is your perfect way of apologizing to the trans community for Dallas Buyers Club.
I really do love you. You really are a very sincere, positive person that you think Jared Leto's listening to the third hour of Blink 155's Mother's Day episode.
Yeah, and after all of that that big clunky pit, I feel so bad. I feel like you might have to do some editing on this one. I'm sorry if I about this clunky People's Joker pitch. I've had a long day as well.
It's a very complicated pitch, so that's fair.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Okay. Well, before you go, is there anything else that you want to plug?
No, just please visit thepeoplesjoker.com. Please follow me on Twitter, Vera Drew 22. And yeah, you'll find I'm making a lot of stuff, and that's really kind of my Twitter's kind of the best place to.
So is the Joker thing like? Are you just like sure you have your show Hot Topics, but like is it still the dream to get the Hot Topic thing, or have you just kind of even if they came crawling to you now, would you be like fuck off, I'm done with you, Hot Topic?
And I'll tell you what. So I had coronavirus. We didn't touch on that at all.
Holy shit.
But I did have coronavirus, and I made, one of my episodes of Hot Topics is very specifically about my experience with that. And after going through coronavirus, I basically kind of gave Hot Topic an ultimatum where I told them, like, I'm going to stop doing free publicity for them on my show. I'm going to still call my show Hot Topics. I probably will still be wearing Hot Topic clothes from time to time because, again, just most of my wardrobe's from Hot Topics. But the way I see it is the ball's in their court. I've given them, they've had they've been mentioned in 4 different articles at this point about my show. They've gotten more exposure from anybody. Like, again, like, you know, I'm a low stakes public figure here. Like, I'm very, you know, but I'm Emmy nominated. You know, I'm definitely the only Emmy nominated person to try to get sponsored by Hot Topic.
That's true.
So the way I see it is, you know, if they want to sponsor me, great. But I'm done working for free, and I'm done like getting on my hands and knees and begging to them.
Well, maybe we'll carry the torch for you, because we've got a lot of kind of pop punk, emo, mall hardcore adjacent listeners. We could try to get maybe we'll take that on while you, and then I also would love to see people from our community get involved with the People's Joker. But I don't know. I think this is the beginning of a long lasting friendship, or a complete disaster in the making.
I mean, are you saying between us? Friendship?
It could be. I don't know. I just feel like I said at the start, this is an important crossover that I don't know what's gonna. Maybe the world's gonna end now.
It does feel kind of like a portal is opening up, and the universe is turning in on itself by me coming on this show. I see it as a much more positive thing than you seem to be. but yeah, no, I mean, all you pop punk mall rats out there, please put pressure on Hot Topic to sponsor me. I am unemployed right now.
This has gone on long enough. Hot Topics making a mockery.
You know, I think it would be really cool to have a Hot Topic presents at the top of People's Joker. I mean, I think that'd be really cool to see a brand rally behind a really interesting.
Is Hot Topic like how Urban Outfitters is secretly owned by like evil Republicans? Is it like that, or?
Well, we're at hour 3, so I have no problem saying this, because this is something I've kind of kept close to the vest, because again, I'm a good leftist and a hashtag hot girl for Bernie. Part of the reason why I have kind of taken a little bit more of a balls in your court Hot Topic stance, and I'm not exactly trying to be as much of a corporate shill as I did find out that Sycamore Partners equity firm, which owns Hot Topic, is definitely partially owned by Michael Bloomberg. So, which is, you know, like, I mean, I have a lot of issues with the Democratic National Committee as a whole. I have way too many issues to mention as far as the Bloomberg campaign, the way it was run, and him as a human is concerned. So yes, long story short, too late. Hot Topic is owned by some of the worst people.
Well, you can take him down from the inside, hopefully, once we get you on the... I want to get you on the payroll, to be honest. Thank you so much, Vera. We really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me. I like, honestly, this was such a huge honor, and I feel like we barely talked about the song, but, you know, it's like a 30-second song.
That's
so
the
really...
Blink-155 method. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day. I'll be fucking it, sucking it, touching, fucking it, sucking it, touching, fucking it, sucking it.